Welcoming you to another episode of Let's Just Talk About It with your amazing, beautiful host, Jessica Simone. Tonight's topic that we're going to be talking about all week is the indoctrination of white children the cause of mass unalivings? And for those who don't know, the things that the systems and beliefs that they are um, impressing upon their white children, is that the cause of mass? Is it contributing to the mass unalivings that majority led by white men, white boys, white teenagers, white men all together? So we are going to be diving deeper in that. It seems like we have Clem Fandango on the panel. You said that you were asking her, so you were saying something about our culture. Could you explain to me exactly what you were saying?
You guys got taken over by an entire race of people, and you just let it happen. That's pretty embarrassing. What did you say?
And where are you from?
Massachusetts.
Are you white?
Oh yes, thank God.
What do you enjoy most about being white?
This privilege that I have, and you guys are really jealous about, apparently.
You said that we're jealous.
Uh huh.
What makes us jealous?
I don't know. I guess I can get stopped by the cops and stuff, and not worry that I'm gonna go to jail or be unalive. That's pretty nice.
So you think it's okay that they unalive, quote unquote, any other person
Well, it's
that's
not so much okay. It's just something I don't have to worry about.
mm-hmm. And
Mm-hmm.
you think that's a good thing?
I never said it was a good thing. I just said it's something I
No,
don't
you
have to
said
worry
you
about.
enjoy it, so I'm assuming that's a good thing
Oh, I
too.
guess I do. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. I do enjoy it. It's great.
Mm-hmm. And do you said that they're taking over with heinous crimes and heinous violence
I
and
mean,
the
back in the day, back when it was just rocks and sticks versus
what does that mean?
guns.
Racks and sticks. What does racks and sticks mean?
Who had the rocks and sticks and who had the better equipment?
The weapons. So you think that because they have weapons, they should make other people slaves?
You know, I'm talking about back in the day, right?
I'm asking
Like
you a
back
question. Do you
before
think
either of
that
us was
because
born.
they have weapons, they should make other people slaves?
Well, I don't think that they should. I just feel like you guys shouldn't have bended backwards, taken it.
So you think that
I feel
because
like you should have
someone has a
fought.
weapon, because I
They
had
didn't want to fight. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty
say someone
embarrassing.
has a stack and a rack allegedly, or a stick or whatever you say, and somebody else has an
A machine
actual
gun?
an actual weapon, and you
Yeah,
telling me that they should have what? Just got shot? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, yeah. Protect the family.
So
If you want
if
to
they get unalived, how do they protect their family? How old are you?
old enough. So you just can't
You
bend over.
sound. How do you get white privilege? It's because white people give it to each
How do
other.
I sound? Wait a minute. What were you gonna say?
I said, how do you get white privilege? Is that because white people give it to each other?
I don't know. So y'all like to tell me I was born with it.
Right. And what is white privilege? White people giving other white people a leg up, correct?
I guess so.
Okay. So do you know that we have black privilege?
I don't think that you do.
I mean, you wouldn't know, you're not in our community.
Obviously,
And I wouldn't tell you because why would we tell you the secrets? We would gatekeep. We
I'm not
wouldn't.
asking.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So you can't tell us what we have and
All I
what
can
we
say is
don't
my
have.
privilege is better than yours.
How do you
That's all I
know?
got. What do you mean?
Why?
How do I know? It's
Because
all
you
y'all
don't
cry about on here, day in, day out.
because you don't get unaligned because all of the white men are so full with rage. If your white privilege is so great, why are you filled with rage and hate that you want to do
Rage?
mass unalivings?
Where this rage come from? Oh, you mean the people that are
Why
off
do you
kilter, the
what do you
mentally ill folks
why do
that
you
go up
think
into churches?
why are they committing mass unalivings?
I would believe they're mentally ill. I don't think it has anything to do with their
So
skin
are you
color.
because they are the majority, do you think it's because it's something in your DNA? Is that why they give each other white privilege? Because deep down you're very mediocre and you need a
Yeah,
little
let's.
help?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
I like that.
Whatever
I like
gets
that
me,
idea
whatever
too.
gets me to win at the end of the day, which is all I do. So that's fine.
It's funny that you feel like you're winning, but yet you're on here trying to convince me that you're winning.
Who's convincing you? I'm just telling you what it is. It's
You're not
facts.
convincing me.
It's facts, ma'am.
You're not convincing me. What is it
It
that you
is
do?
facts.
What is
But
it?
keep that little soft voice of yours.
Yeah, I'm
Stay
always gonna
angry.
have it.
Just stay just as angry as you are, but keep that little soft voice. Don't
You know
show it.
what's crazy,
Don't
everybody?
show it.
They'll come in here and say that you're angry. You could be smiling. You could be talking very
No, you're
normal,
not
and they'll
angry at
tell you
all.
that you're angry.
You don't got that black anger.
It's
Black women
it's
don't have that.
projection.
It's not something that you were born with.
Hey, Clem, I'm gonna interrupt you if you don't mind for a second.
I just want you guys to know that this is. I'm
I love
assuming
it.
you voted for Trump too, right?
Good God, no, I'd never vote. All politicians are snakes.
Oh, so you don't have any identity or voice. I don't even.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how I'm letting you speak.
Oh, you actually like politicians? You think politicians are good?
The projection that this man is doing, he claims
Wait
to
a
have
minute.
white
Wait a
privilege,
minute. You think politicians are
and still he
good?
is lacking, and still he is
You think
crawling up.
politicians are
It's
good?
with all of the white privilege that you have, you're still crawling into my space to talk to me and taunt, quote unquote, taunt me, and you think that I, Jessica Simone, am going to be offended by you, especially with that picture on your profile. I hope that's
Give
not
us a
you.
smile.
You think that I'm going to be offended by
Give
you?
us a smile.
There's nothing you can say that is going to
She's getting angry,
that has
guys.
any validation.
When I first came on here, she was doing the whole condescending happy eating, and now she's kind of dropped down a little. It's got a little bit more serious. That's really all my goal was. All right, you have a good night.
Y'all, those are characteristics of school honor libraries. Y'all bet to check his Mickey Picky browser. Because that is what you guys are up against.
She's a runner, she's a track star. She gon' run away when it gets hard.
The guy had nothing. The guy had nothing with all your white privilege. And that is another thing. You're crawling up in my space, my black ass space, with my soft ass voice and my beautiful smile. So you could talk to me and you're gonna tell me, make me believe that you're fucking winning, which is crazy. Go ahead, Andrew. Hold on, yeah,
Yeah.
hold on. My bad, Andrew. He's because Irene said he had nothing, and I just want to.
I have nothing.
Go ahead, Andrew. What you gonna say?
I was gonna speak as the mentally ill white person that everyone likes to assume as soon as a white person does anything heinous that it's always mental health issues. Have had many mental health issues, all that have been officially diagnosed, and not once have I ever considered harming other people, let alone bringing a pew pew to a school. And I think the funniest thing is he's up here talking about white privilege, although he has no idea what white privilege even is. The one example he could give is the fact that he gets pulled over and that he doesn't have to worry about anything. Sweetie, you do. You're getting a ticket at the end of the day. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting pulled over. White privilege would be like you don't even get pulled over because you're white. But that's a whole different subject. We can just tell that you were out of your ballpark from the get-go. But I just wanted to come up to give some white on white crime because I know that man would, if he continued this conversation, would have brought up the black on black crime and how it's a higher percentage when we all know that's not even true and there's no such thing as black and black crime.
Facts, and I love that. I love that. I got you too. Give me 1 second. I just want to bring in also to Jamal. Thank you so much for joining us, James.
Hey, man, where have you been? Not you was saying crawling.
Right. You come crawling into my space. Want to be all over this shit. What the fuck?
Crawling from that bitten day. Not with unwashed legs.
Like Saji say, wash the back of your legs and then come and talk to me.
The back of your kneecap.
Facts. That's what she say. Wash the back of your kneecaps.
I mean, I guess I just, I was coming up here to read him down, but some people are unhelpable.
I would have to agree.
No fucking way!
Hello. Damn, I ain't gonna lie. I was low key listening.
Politely muted, but I'll go on mute.
Okay. Chewy, welcome, man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing tonight, Jessica?
I'm blessed and highly favored. I cannot complain.
Good
Did
to
you come
hear.
over to talk to him or talk about the prompt?
Like all of the above. So, I was gonna say one thing. With the background, I was wondering if maybe instead of doing pictures, if you could put like up statistics or numbers. Because it's just like one of those things when you use names and pictures, it helps glorify those people to the people that will praise them. It's just a thought.
And even to
I just
that, why do
figured
you
I'd throw
think
it out.
they would praise them? Like, I mean,
Because
that's something to
unfortunately,
unpack in its own. Like, what is being taught that I would
that's
praise the pictures of these people?
no, like the other people that would commit violence or use them, they praise them. And I sorry if I thought you that I meant you on that. I was saying,
I was
oh,
thinking like it also goes back to the mentality of thinking like, oh, if I saw them, why would I praise them? Like in what in that mentality and or upbringing, things that contribute to make me feel like I would want to praise them opposed to like demonize them for the shit that they've done. Like if you can add some insight to
it's
that, I would love to know.
well, it's usually most often I would say rooted in like deep-seated self like hatred, probably in a sense, where they are so low on themselves. That's why often individuals that commit these things are actually have unaliving tendencies in and of themselves, and because they're in such a dark place, they think that by doing this notoriety act, by committing this violence, that it'll somehow make them more than what they are, and it's a despicable thing, and it's something that needs to be severely, definitely unpacked, looked into, and honestly, I think one of the biggest thing needs to be addressed by honestly family members, because you oftentimes see these people have family members that have ignored the clear and obvious signs, and that's where when you talk about the indoctrination is the problem with white culture, that we have a superiority complex, that we think we're above this, that we think are, because of who we are incapable of having these mental instabilities that can lead to that, so we give passes to behavior that should be concerning. And then like like these parents, are they looking at their kids seeing behavior that could have been very easily explained and then a- attended to prevent this from happening? And why is that then so prevalent in white versus other races? Is it because other races are more attuned to the family structure than the white structure is, because of this superiority complex that we have into ourselves? I mean, it's there's like a lot of different ways you can look at it. So I mean, I definitely think the topic is very interesting. I would love to hear different people's views on it, but like I said, I just don't like giving them any more fame or notoriety.
I get that. I definitely get
So
that.
that's
Do you feel like also too that the superiority complex and that the parents that the ideology that they're drilling into the children that either you're better than, we're the superior, everything is because everything the system is set up for them pretty much. And like the crazy guy that came in here talking about white privilege, um with all these things set up for him, what do you think is contributing to the self-hate? Do you think it's because the superiority complex is a lie? And then in like in what in the any type of ways that they figure out, like what are different ways that they figure out it is a lie?
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like an interesting look, because like especially this older generation that has been raising the generation now that we've seen in the past, say, 15 or so years, they grew up in probably a prime example of white privilege, because it was post civil rights. So then like a lot of white people are like, well, everything's equal now, right? There's no problems, and if someone does less than you, it's they equivocate. Sorry, I'm having a moment. Equivocate that to like it's no longer about structural or institutionalized things that are working against them because they think just the legislation passed, so the next day everything's fair and even. It's like no, it's been decades and we still aren't truly equal. If me as a white person is being honest, I can take a look at that, and I've even had to unpack things myself. Like one of the perfect examples, I was an RA in college, and I can't remember if it was, I believe it was with a fellow RA, and we were having talks. I'm from like BFE nowhere, Minnesota. Like I graduated with a class of like 40 people. I mean, just small town Hickville. So, I had a very different worldview than people from like larger cities and stuff. And I grew up a lot of times thinking, like, oh, there's white privilege isn't a thing. You're either rich or you're poor, and that's what people really judge you on. And I had different things, and I was talking with a gentleman that was another RA with me in college, and he was from the Twin Cities, and he was African American, and we were talking. And I'm like, yeah, man, we were talking about prejudices, and I'm like, man, I know what that's like. I was a little bit like gothy. I was into all the rock stuff, and I remember I used to get judged and looked at and all this when I was growing up. And he's like, yeah, man, that's fucked up that people did that to you. But here's the thing, and this is where I had my like aha moment. He's like, could you have changed what you were wearing and no one would have thought of you any different? Because I can't change how my skin looks. And I never thought, I just made the assumption, since I had been judged because of something, obviously I knew the same plight. And I'm like, when he said that, and I took that second, I stepped back and I looked, and I'm like, dude, I didn't even think about it that way. Yes, I could change how I acted or how my appearance is. And for him, it didn't matter if he was a straight A student, if he was into the counterculture thing like I was at that age. He was being judged on the base of his skin color, and that's nothing he could change. Yeah, and that's zero. And they were basing me off of a cultural scene at the time where it was seen counterculture, so he's probably into things, which luckily I wasn't. I was a fairly decent kid. I mean, I had my moments where I was a dumbass, but who doesn't growing up? But so I reframed my thoughts a lot, and I thought I'm like, I don't have any kind of tendencies or things like that nature. And I started thinking, I'm like, and that's when I started unpacking what white privilege actually was. And and unfortunately it took me until my my 20s and getting more introduced to more in life than what my small view that I grew up with, because like I said, I did not have a lot of diversity or anything in the area I grew up in. So it and I wish I would have been introduced to that earlier, because I had not just in race relations, but even LGBTQ relations, where I was showing one thing because that was the quote unquote normative thing, and I wasn't exposed to other things. And until I started exposing myself and questioning things, that is when I finally started unpacking a lot of things and self-examining and understanding so much more about the world.
Got you.
Sorry, Val, I'll land my plane.
I appreciate that. Sarah, what the fuck? Or what the fuck, Sarah? Say what the fuck, Sarah? What does it mean? What is the W?
It's say what the fuck you want, Sarah.
Say what the fuck you want, Sarah. So Sarah, welcome in. It's the indoctrination.
Welcome. By the way, you're beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Also, too, you guys, if you have another device, put it into the red app, okay? Okay, into YouTube. If you don't, and make sure you are subscribed as well. But you can also engage there if you have some great comments. I'll highlight them on the YouTube. The live will be available for replay on YouTube as well, just in case it does go down. Or if they do finally sell over, that's where we'll be migrating to, so you'll know where to come as well. But yeah, so we need to accumulate those hours so we can definitely monetize and it costs nothing. Okay. But yeah, say what the fuck you want, Sarah. Is the indoctrination of white children the cause for mass unalivings? And if so, like what are the things being taught that could break their foundation, I guess?
So I look at things as more of, I hate to say it, but because of me being like kind of slightly autistic, I look at things in a different view than I think that most people do. So I think that it has to do with poor and low income families. I think that it has to do with the fact that there is a certain way that people are brought up, and I don't think that it has. I think that genes come into it, because obviously genes come into play when it comes to health
Girl,
matters.
somebody trying to get
I
in
mean,
contact with you.
no, it's not. That's my charger. That's my. I have a really bad charger right now.
Thank you.
Bear with me. Anyways, I will fix it though. I think that honestly, if we take both sides and we compare it, I think I look at it in a very nuanced way, because I try not to look at it as white nor black. I think that when it comes to the white population, we have an over decline in mental health and it not being diagnosed. That's my husband in the background.
Oh, because I'm like, girl, it's literally like a titty in your house. What is happening?
That is okay. Look, the tariffs went up in cigarettes, and we started rolling cigarettes. We're like, look, I am not spending $15 on a pack of cigarettes.
That's how the tobacco field rolling up paper.
Yeah. I'm not even playing, because I was like, look, no, we're gonna get some tobacco. We got the Kentucky style tobacco with the little roller, and that's what you're hearing in the background. So I apologize for that. I know smoking is a terrible habit. I'm really trying to quit, but it is hard.
Oh my God. Okay. All right, I got you.
And honestly, though, when I think of it, I think that honestly, the media tries to pin us against white versus black. You know what I'm saying? I think that we're all God's children, and that's the way I know some people get tired of hearing that. But that's just the way I was raised, and I do believe that.
You know that a white guy just shot up a church, right?
Of course, 100%.
Right.
And I believe
the majority of mass
that people have a statistic that's higher. I believe in mental health. I also believe that
that's because we're all not God's children.
Hold on, I got you, Boomber. You know I'm gonna give you the floor when you come up.
Yeah, so I'm always just trying to say that, like, okay, so we see the comparison, because that young man had sat there and said about black on black crime, that I think that that's the thing that we need to hone in on, is that we obviously have a lot of a higher majority of white class of people that are having more mass shootings, and then we also have a lot of gang violence when it comes to African Americans. I think
but we're
that the
only
fact
talking about mass unaliving right now.
No, I'm talking about as a whole. So as a whole United States,
right. I get that.
And
there are so many topics in the world that we can cover, which we can't cover in one live, which is important to break it down topic by topic. So this particular topic is about the mass public unalivings by white children, because they are overwhelmingly the majority that is completing these mass unalivings. Whether it's gang, which is situational crime that is happening in other different things, or booms or whatever the fuck that they're having, but these are people who are going out and unaliving a group of people, innocent people, for no apparent reason, because they are filled with rage and hate. So my thing is, like, what is it in the community that they are being taught in their households that can contribute to them wanting to mass unalive? Because a lot of people have mental health, but they are not doing mass unalivings. A lot of people have bad days, not doing mass unalivings. A lot of people are in gangs, but they're still not doing mass unalivings. But what is it about the white community that makes you want to go into a school and unalive innocent children, make you want to go to Vegas and rent out the top floor and unalive people who are having fun at a festival, like things like that, or going to a church and unalive people while they are having praise and worship? So I want to know, and it is overwhelmingly white men, and I want to know what is being taught to these white men in their households that may be
In my personal opinion, I believe that it doesn't matter when it comes down to race or even poverty at that point. I think it comes down to power. I think that a lot of people, when they sit there and they do something to another person, it speaks a lot for the fact that they are obviously going through something physically within themselves. I believe it's the same thing when it came to Satan wanting to overpower the
But what
Lord.
is the thing that
I
is
believe
going
that
on? What do you
people
think?
are in
Okay, how
pain,
about this?
and,
What do you think happened in their
power
household?
makes.
What do you think happened in their
I
household?
think that any household's going to have its own issues. So I think that yes, of course, we could definitely stem it down to black or
Was
white.
that your husband?
Yes, that was my husband. Yes, we've been married for 10 years, and he is
What did he
very,
say?
very.
Nails is eating down.
He's playing. So this is the best way. I do my thing.
Hold
Me
on,
and
I
him
got
in the corner of
Bloomberg.
the
I
house,
got
and
you.
he
I
does
got
his
you.
little thing, and he games, and he does his own little thing and stuff like that. And we just having a couple cocktails, and he's playing with the boys or whatever, and I'm doing my stuff on TikTok. But in a general sense, I honestly believe that is power. All power honestly holds and corrupts in a human being. So if we're going to get down to the nitty gritty, it's going to be power. So it doesn't matter if it comes in a culture or home or
Like
who the
what type
person
of
is.
power? What type of power?
Is
What type of power?
power. If you think of any person that's powerful, even when it comes to the Bible, to the president of the United States, it is about power. Any person that says that it doesn't come down to power, it's because someone has normally felt weakened, either in their own home life or school or friendships, and then they feel like they need to regain that power. And even in their own sick and twisted brains, they feel that either A, in this moment, they could sit there and go shoot up a school, or they could sit there and they feel a sense of family.
So do you think
and
that
they go out and kill
do you
somebody
think
for
that their
pride.
family is making them feel like they're powerful?
No, I think that they seek powerful nature and they're not getting it in the home. I feel that they don't have a voice. And so it makes, if you ever looked at anybody in human history, a lot of the men that have rose to these corrupt powers have always been weakened in their childhood somehow.
I agree.
So
That's what I'm
therapy
saying.
wise.
What's happening
Yeah.
in the household? That's why we want to get into that. What's happening in the household? What are
It
parents
could be a
doing to
range
their
of things.
children? How are they weakening them? What tactics are they using to weaken these men in the household that is making them seek power or filled with hate and rage that they want to unalive people, and then sometimes
Well-
also to unalive themselves? Give me 1 second.
Well,
I'm gonna let you rebut to that. I want to
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go to Hey son. I want to go to Jamal really quick, and then if you need to respond, I'll let you respond. And then I'm gonna go to Boomberg. Go ahead, Jamal.
What in the world is going on in the Benday tonight? What? No, it has nothing to do with power. The data is quite specific. It's happening for a very specific demographic of people. I'm confused. I'm confused. I am so confused and disturbed right now because, how
You
the
don't even know
Bible?
what to say.
How the Bible get invoked in this. So here's the thing. Over and over again, we've watched on these panels the inability of people to stand in that nasty reflection of their truth. Right? I feel bamboozled in this moment because, quite frankly, this doesn't have anything to do with religion. This has everything to do with upbringing, right? Nature versus nurture. This is nurture. This is a nurture problem. Yes, all of us would like for people not to see color. That is not the reality in this world. And to suggest that it's a problem to point out that certain demographics of people commit certain crimes is wildly diabolical and intellectually lazy. And so I'm not sure.
Wait a minute, James. Aren't you saying that white people commit more crimes when it comes to mass unaliving?
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna give you a chance to respond, Sarah.
Sarah, you must be confused about me, and this must be your first time on this panel, but your words shouldn't be
I'm not
touching mine.
confused at all. I'm not confused.
You're very,
Are you
you're very-
confused? Are you
You're
confused?
very
No.
confused. And if you think
Sarah.
you'll colonize this conversation, you're
That's
very
okay,
confused.
James.
You need to take you showed up here trying to colonize a conversation and overtalk people. You ran that damn mouth.
I'm a
You can't help yourself.
my mouth.
You
I'm
can't
gonna run
help
my
yourself. I'm gonna keep muting
in
you
your mouth.
because you can't help
I'm
yourself.
trying to
And
mansplain.
you're over there at the trailer park burping and got all kinds of crazy
Mansplain it. Go
stuff
ahead,
going on
mansplain it.
over there. You're over there burping, farting,
And my
noise going
motherfucking
on. Your
husband is
charger got a
burping.
problem.
Oh my
And
god.
here we are
You're a gay
listening
man
Okay,
that
okay,
shits
hold
on
on. Hold on 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, everybody.
Gay
Just
man that
hold
shits
on,
on
Sarah,
himself.
Sarah,
You talk
Sarah,
about
Sarah,
burping.
Sarah, Sarah. I know you say what the fuck you want, and you can say what the fuck you want when
I'm gonna
it's
say
your
what the
turn. No, when it's your turn. I don't know if you ever been. Let me lay the rules out for everybody. Let me lay the
You
rules
shit
out,
on
Sarah.
dicks.
Respectfully, I gave you respect,
Go
and I
put a
let
dick
you.
up your ass.
I let you have a moment, right? Everybody gets a chance to speak. And like I said, I'm going to give Jamal his chance to speak. And then when it's your turn, I'm going to give you the floor so you can speak uninterrupted. We like to have respect in these spaces. And I think everybody's voice should be heard because, again, just to go back to their voices not being heard, not having any power, can lead to mass unalignments. We don't want that. We want to allow everybody to speak. So I would appreciate it, just like everybody else is giving everybody else respect when it's their turn. I will give you a chance to respond. Yeah. Well, then if that's what you want, honey, well, that's what it is.
Sarah
She's
came
a
up
runner,
here
she's a
talking
track
about
star. She gon' run away when it gets hard.
Go. Yeah. Did anybody drop her?
Sarah came. No, but I don't think anybody dropped her.
Okay.
Sarah
You can go
came.
roll your cigarettes there. Go ahead.
Sarah came up here talking about she had autism as if it was an excuse for stupidity. It's not. Sarah came up here burping, farting, rude, wrong, loud, and when she got faced with, girl, you're making no sense, she ran away. Listen, go wash the back of your kneecaps. I invite you to check for
Hey,
lice,
sweetie.
but who you're not fitting to play is me. And for all the people that show up on panels, as soon as you show up on a panel and the first words out of your mouth is a disability like autism or ADHD, it is a reminder to me that you all are always trying to colonize victimhood. You try to colonize everything. You show up in the world stealing stuff. And the last thing that you could steal is being a victim. And so you all are unraveling at the seams when people say, we don't have time for it. Girl, go to hell. Anyway, Jess, you look so pretty tonight.
Thank you.
You caught that. I'm glad you caught that. 'Cause I'm about to air ass out.
Oh, come on. So, Boomer, you on our side tonight?
No, when she know, I already when the city talking about, I was about to. That's why I wanted to speak because he said that autism and playing games, speaking about trying to mix it with gangs, with black people doing stuff, trying to keep it on one thing. All that stuff she was doing, playing autism and trying to mix it with the gangs, with black people doing gangs, trying to take the attention off of the white boys are doing that by themselves. That's what they doing. We dealing with that right now. Stop trying to blend it with gang culture and all that. That's what she's trying to do. I saw that shit, man. I don't like that.
So, do you feel like the indoctrination of white children is the cause of mass unaliving?
That's their nature. I know their nature, so when I see it, that's what I think. The thing is, that's why they mess the food up, because they try to get us to act like them. That's why they give us all this animal food with pig and pork and all that, because they try to trick us to act like them. That's their nature. That's our second nature. That's their first nature.
What do you think that I never thought I'd be agreeing with Boom? Oh yeah, I see it. Hold on. Can we get him a little bit? Just a little bit. This is the first time he on our side. This is the first time Boomberg actually agrees with us.
That's some bullshit you did, man.
And just like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, Oya. I showed everybody your thing too. What you do to Boom? I don't know. So what do you think that they're teaching to their children that can contribute to? Man, y'all got one. Okay. What do you think that that they're teaching in their to their kids that is contributing to this?
Oh, what they teaching them when they show us, when they see us as athletes, it's the jealousy of what they can do. The power. So when you start saying, I'm not going to be able to do what LeBron doing or Michael Jordan, it start hurting them, the power that they can't have. And then they go out and unalive people. That got that kind of power that they cannot have.
Do you think
jealousy?
Do you think that hey Shady, how you doing, beautiful? Do you think also too that they're telling them that they are better? And what do you think they tell them at the household that makes them get into school but like damn and can't take a loss?
Like I said, it's the jealousy of. Remember, they got money. They're not poor. These are not poor people. So when you're doing something like that,
No, Parkers, hold on. It's about to be over because y'all.
when you're doing something like that, that means you're jealous of somebody's physicality. That means you're jealous of physical powers. Because you got money, your family situated, you're doing better than them financially, but you want to unalive them. That means you got a jealousy of their physical. Is physical now. It's a jealousy of physical abilities, physical stuff, intelligence, and stuff like that. And then I want to unalive you now because I can't achieve what I know, stuff like that. Because you got money, but you're not like we're doing better than them financially. So why you want to unalive me for? And a whole bunch of us. It's something physical that you got a problem with. You're jealous. And something intellectual also. Intelligence, and physicality.
I agree. I appreciate you so much, Boom. Thank you so much for coming up, man. Let me tell you something. First of all, I've never heard. Can I get massive coconuts in the chat? Massive coconuts in the chat for Oya in this bitch, okay? When I showed y'all to get the step in. Let me tell you something. She has a love-hate relationship. But for the first time tonight, Boom, I can agree with Boom. No, I'm surprised that Boom agrees with us. You know, and I said, can you get a sentence out first? She can get 5 minutes. She said 1 minute. So that was the 1 minute. We weren't gonna be able to do it. So I gotta get massive coconut. Parker just walked in like, oh hell no. Don't worry, our 60 seconds is almost up, okay? But Boom, I would like to say that it's refreshing to see that at least you agree with Black people on sometime. Bree, I requested a minute when I can't go. Okay, no problem. I just wanted to hear, because obviously you're in the comments, but you're giving honest feedback, and which is refreshing. And if you guys didn't know, she said, oh, we're taught we're better and superior, and when we realize that we aren't, many unalive others. Because you got to think, if you're a child and your foundation is built on, I'm better, the world deserves me, they've been to my knee, I'm faster, I'm smarter, I'm this and I'm that, and you're fucking not. It's not love. It's just more coconuts for all y'all in the chat. Thank you, James, for the crowds. I appreciate you, King. And then when you go to school and realize that you're not, which is why I made a video, is like, they have to keep us segregated, because when we hang out with each other, we realize that the propaganda is a lie. If you are white and they're teaching you're better and you're this, and you go to school with nothing but white people who believe the same thing, you are more likely to hold on to the propaganda longer, which means you'll be invested in it, and it's harder for you to change it or deconstruct. When you go like that, one Maca guy said, everybody that goes to college is woke. What are they teaching in college? When you are integrated with other people and you realize they are not the people that you said they were, it's easier for you to start deconstructing and realize that things are different, and things that I've been told is being a lie. And sometimes when your foundation is crumbled upon you, like when you're sitting in the house and the foundation just falls apart, the house falls up on top of you, it's hard for you to climb your way out of there. You really have to work hard to do so. So I feel like that has a lot to it. That's why they don't want segregation, because then you'll know Black folks aren't, mean, angry, don't have this and don't have that, and they'll hurt you, they're dangerous, and this and that, especially when white women are telling them children to find a Black man or and then when white men are the number one mass unalivers, mass rapists, mass serial unalivers, they're leading in everything. And not only on your little 1350, I mean at an alarming rate, which is why motherfuckers is choosing the bear. I'm being summoned. Okay, no problem. Go ahead, Jamal. Dan, I don't know if you're still in here. Oh, there he goes. Thank you. Hey, Parkers, how you doing, Mimi? When your baby come back, you say?
It works.
Yeah, because I seen you coming back and down and down and back.
Proof of life. I've been trying to fix my camera for the past 10 to 15 minutes, and I've been in and out of these combos, so I missed all of the nonsense. So no one catch me up on it. I don't want to hear it.
Blue Kitchen, thank you for the $5. Said this is for your labor. I appreciate you, because Black women's labor is not free anymore, you guys. Okay. No babies on these titties, no more.
Why is it when I always come up with these panels, Jamal's always like, drop me? It's like, why, Jamal? I missed you too. I'm sad. I'm so sad.
He said he was being summoned. He'll be right back. Uh-oh.
It's because you're white, Dan.
You know what? I respect that, Jamal. You know what? Given everything, I respect that.
I'm just kidding. After
I
I listened to Chewy's TED Talk about 20 minutes long.
I don't know what was going on. I couldn't follow that. I couldn't follow anything going on. But you know what, Jamal? I respect that, and that's a perfectly legitimate and fine answer, and I respect that.
No, I'm literally just joking. I'll be back momentarily. I'm being summoned to some. Oh Lord, Chris is here too. Definitely time to go.
Hey, Chris, how you doing, love? Go ahead. I'll see you when you get back, love. Dan, what do you think? Hold on, let me do a quick mod announcement because I gotta brush my hair real quick. I guess what was I about to say? You guys, it's 101 people in here. Let's go ahead and get the tap to 100K. If you're not following me already, make sure that you give me a follow. Everybody in here, if you could share the live to your story. Don't even worry about the multiple share. If you could share the live to your story right now, that'd be awesome. I would greatly appreciate if you hit the share button. They have an option where you can be able to share it to your live. I would greatly appreciate that. Continue to tap the screen so we can get to 100K. Thank y'all for being here. We got 5 more crowns to get in. Always the best way to support the live is I'm Jessica Simone or blue or red app. I appreciate blue or green app. I'm hollering. I'm crazy. Also, too, if you have another device, put it into the red triangle YouTube. Shout out to Mickey Ficky Lils and Shin over there. I appreciate you guys for being here. We're also live on Twitch. I called a robots. Welcome in, and I think it was one other person in there. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Go ahead, Dan. What do you think about the prompt?
Actually, I did want to. So I saw this earlier, and one of the ones when I was catching up and recovering from my my quick surgery, and I was away at my in-laws for a while. My qualifying is what type of indoctrination are you referring to? Is it just parental indoctrination, white supremacy indoctrination, or just in general?
I mean, thank you, Just Z. I appreciate you. Aren't they all happening at the same time?
Oh
the
yeah,
parents
no, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really talking about in the household. So, and I feel like white supremacy is also taught in the household. I mean, I'm not
Absolutely.
obviously I'm not a white kid. I've never been, but I've had some friends, and obviously the way they grew up and act, like your mama raised you in a different type of way, and I want to know exactly, like, even some experiences, some things that have technically happened. Like, I would love for different way people to come up and tell me the things that they experienced where they notice that these things can contribute to a false ideology, delusion, and it could set them up for failure.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's true. I just want to know if there was like a specific angle to approach it from. No, I think that yes, in the household, absolutely. I think that I think one of the accelerants of this, and we've seen this, and there's been studies, both psychological and sociological, on this now, is that because of the way the internet is now designed and acts, because it's based on algorithms and engagement, what you get is that a lot of these folks up here that do all the pew pews is that if they have a certain belief system that is enforced in them, usually by their parents and their surroundings and their environment, which as a white tea person is, you're usually programmed with it from the beginning to some degree, just because our society and culture is just based on white tea supremacy, anti-blackness, all this stuff, misogyny, patriarchy. I could go on and on. I don't need to yap about this. Everyone knows this already. That it becomes hyper. I would say it's that hyper radicalization. The household itself, I don't think, does it on its own. It's more of a catalyst, and then once you get into these online spaces, you get that hyper radicalization. I mean, we saw it already with people like dropping slurs in random people's lives, and I'm like, bro, like there's a guy here who looked like. Hold on, I'm not sure what this guy looked like from earlier, because this is literally what this man looked like earlier. This man had a kid in the background, and he's over here trying to like talk about like
That is that it? Hold on, that's him. Are you on mute? I don't know why I can't hear Dan anymore.
I don't.
He's doing
There we
it
go.
up there.
No, I don't. I don't. Some again, my headset disconnected. I don't know what was going on. This is what this guy looked like earlier. It was killing me. It was earlier as well. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree with the prompt, and I think that we it's such a crazy statistic to look at the fact that if you look at acts of terrorism that goes on in America, it is dominated predominantly by YT people
Mm-hmm.
and specifically YT men, especially domestic terrorism. There's a great book I recommend called "Bring the WAR Home" by Kathleen Breland, I think is her name. She's a historian. She's a historian at the University of Penn, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head. I could be wrong about
I
that, but
hate
she
to
wrote a
cut you
great
off
book
really
about
quick,
this.
Dan, but what about
Go
before
ahead.
social media? Like your Columbine, all the people that did these mass unalivings before social media. So I would say that that don't necessarily play a full role into it. So like what could social media say to you that's either different or runs in line with your parents? So the first question is, what do you think contributes to it before social media was anything? Because when Columbine happened, social media was not prominent. And then my second question is, even if we're talking about social media, what are they saying on social media that promotes this? Because a lot of type of hate speech or that type of rhetoric is usually banned.
Well, I don't know about Twitter nowadays. It's pretty bad. No, okay. To your Columbine point, I think that if you go to the Columbine pew pewers, they were essentially Yahtzees. Like they wrote about like how they loved Yahtzee and the white supremacy ideology. So that's right off the bat. We already know that that still exists.
Where do you think they learned
What I
that
mean,
from, though? Like who
oh yeah,
introduced it?
from their home, their schools, as well to get into it. Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't disagree with that. I think that's at the root of it. In our current state, I think what social media does, or what our online spaces do now, is that they create that hyper radicalizing pipeline. Well, before you still had these events, now they become much more hyper radicalized in a way that didn't exist in the same format in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s. It's not
Mm-hmm.
saying that mass violence by white people didn't exist. It's that now it's like you see it all the time. There are so many terrorism acts that never get reported. I think the average is that there's about
Hey,
one
Mikey.
every couple of days that we don't that doesn't even get reported in mainstream main media as well. So it's yeah, I mean it's so many different factors that picking out one, it's America. This is America, as Childish Gambino said. Back all the way in 20, what was that song? 2016, 2015 now? It's yeah, it's all of that. It's all that and a giant bag of poop at this point.
Really quick. Hey, I caught a robots. He said I'm gonna ask here since it's quieter. How do I teach my mini me the real history of this country at age appropriate levels? There is a website called Zend Project, ZINNED Project.org, and they teach the people's history. They teach um not a whitewash history, the real history of all of the cultures. And they also too are by teachers of color, so they have no reason to kind of quote unquote whitewash it or leave anything out. So you can definitely go to that website, and then they have teachers on there, especially if you guys are like homeschooling or anything, you could sign up. But it's a very, very, very great website to check out. Shout out to Sanji for that. It promotes and supports the teaching of people's history in classrooms across the country. The education project is coordinated by two nonprofit organizations, Rethinking Schools and Teaching for Change. Rethinking Schools and Teaching for Change are the two nonprofit organizations. And they have spent decades developing and providing social justice resources for teachers. So that is a place that you can go. I Coda Robots. Um, So, Cal Smitty, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am blessed and highly favored. Shout out to If y'all not following SoCal Smitty, I don't really know what you're doing with yourself. hold on. Also, too, Bree said our parents had an outlet for their violence that we don't as well. They got away with the hate crimes. And I just want to know, like, what are examples or that's why I would love some way people that are just open and honest. We've had a couple about some of the things that they say it in the ways that they do it because we know parents can say certain things that you kind of just okay, I'm getting the flow. Like they would talk a certain way, they would abuse a certain way, and then back it up with religion. Um, because the abuse don't stop just because slavery is not a thing anymore, and it's also too can be passed down. So if anybody has any like specific examples, I would love to hear about them to kind of get an idea in the way that they think. But yes, what are you thinking, Smith?
Um, well, I think it's a very interesting question. And I think that I guess the way I would approach the answer is maybe to talk about why we don't see a lot of folks from marginalized communities doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it comes down to a very specific premise. I think when you're a member of a marginalized community and you're being raised within that community, much of what you're being raised with is learning how to endure, right? And you learn how to endure when you're going through specific traumas that might cause you to do something crazy. Instead of doing something crazy, you learn how to, right, take a deep breath, right? Remember your value systems and push through it. And so I think that when you don't have that adversity, right, growing up, at least as as it pertains to race or ethnicity or whatever it may be, when people face these situations, whether it be bullying or whatever it may be, where's that capacity to endure? It's not there. And so I think along with that, I think we have to be very honest about what we're seeing in schools today. It's just an extension of what has happened yesterday, right? The violence, this is just the latest manifestation of a violent level of behavior that we've seen throughout the history of this country,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just that these folks, at the end of it are doing something different because there may be consequences that there weren't 50 years ago, right? Like if you look at the civil rights movement, what would blow everybody's mind is the fact that until 1968, the assassination of Dr. King, right, and James Earl Ray, he was the first person to be brought to trial for unaliving a black civil rights leader. Think about that. Think
Mm.
about all of the black people that have been unalived. It took until actually 1969, right,
Yeah.
for someone to have a consequence. And so again, this to me is just the latest manifestation of what we've always seen.
And then it's just one. So like out of the thousands and if millions of crimes that they commit, if only one person I got you, Chewy. If out of thousands, if only one person is committed, like, I still can get away with it. Like, oh, they tried to, make an example, but I still can, you know. And when you said, you revert back to your about, you have to take a breath and revert back to your values. Where do you learn your values?
Yes, absolutely, at home, right?
So what
And
are
it's
they
it's
what are they saying to these kids?
you know
Teaching them or
it
not teaching them that is like because anytime you get lost or you know things get crazy, you revert back to your foundation, and what is in that foundation.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I think that's why, again, right? I'm speaking at it from a lens of being a black man, right? And thinking I had no delusions that I was going to get anything due to my race, right? There was no delusion of that. And again, in fact, I was put in situations where, right, I saw that I was not starting at the same place,
Mm-hmm.
and that my excellence, right, put people off. And so, again, you have
And
to
they try to
figure
tell
out,
you,
right,
damn.
exactly how
Mm.
you deal with these things. And then you're being raised by parents that, if you think about it, the generation before had to deal with even less adversity than the
Mm-hmm.
child is dealing with. So how are parents that have never even had to navigate a situation, right? They were born in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they had less of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, um, I don't think there's an infrastructure, right, in those households for dealing with it because they just haven't had to.
Gotcha. I want to say something then, Chewy. I know you had your hand raised, and then is it Andrew? Andrew wants to say something too, but also somebody said something in the chat. Oh, exactly. Add on that we aren't taught emotional regulation as children, and you get mass unaliving because if you can't regulate your emotions and you just feel and you think you can just do whatever you want, and I know I don't want to call it a stereotype, but we have seen like sometimes, we know for we make jokes about little Timmy yelling at his mom, "Shut the fuck up, mom," and she's just like, "Okay," and allowing him to just really allow his emotions to explode and not teaching them how to regulate them, but to go wild and willy nilly. It's crazy, but it also can contribute to it. Not like you're not teaching me anything. Um, Go ahead, Chewy, and then Andrew.
Thanks. I'll try to keep this one a little bit quicker this time.
I saw you said, "I promise I won't ramble." I got you.
It kind of goes on what Smitty was saying, but I just was kind of thinking, like, is it the way even like the same thing is framed culturally? So like I like specifically I'm talking like the quote unquote American dream of bettering yourself. Like for white people, like do we think it's like a given that that happens, and then when it doesn't like immediately be given to us, we crumble? Whereas a as he was saying, as Smitty was saying, with um, as an African American, you had to face adversity, and you didn't expect to be given, and therefore you're able to persevere through that. Whereas someone of my complexion may crumble from it because we thought this was what we were going to be given.
It's many you can piggyback on that, but before you do, I want to say like, yeah, yes, crumble because you don't have any experience with taking a loss or saying no or not having it go your way, so you don't know what to do and you'd explode and people say, somebody quoted said when you move off emotion, you're guaranteed to lose something, which is important to like Smitty say, take a couple of deep breaths, see how you can pivot, navigate, adapt, or go back to the drawing board. But yeah, if you don't have experience with that, no emotional regulation, and you think that everything is supposed to be given to you, and then you get out into the real world, which again, setting them up for failure, and it doesn't go your way, you don't know how to navigate that. It's hard to navigate that emotionally. But Smitty, did you want to respond to that? And if not, we'll go to Andrew.
Yeah, no, and I got to drop after this. Unfortunately, I just, it's dinner time, so
No problem.
got to
Go,
drop.
go.
But one thing is also important to think about too is the impacts of class as well, right? And the fact of I used to play in these basketball tournaments against these very wealthy high schools and AAU teams, and you talk about when things didn't go their way. Woo,
Oh my God.
And
Volleyball.
so right, you've seen it.
And I ain't throwing, I'm competitive. Like, yeah. And they're like, and even is it Coco who
Right.
just had a tennis match? Taylor Townsend just had a match with that white girl and she lost, and she called her classless and wait till we get out of the US, start threatening her and talking down on her because she lost. Like you couldn't even take it. But go ahead, my bad.
I could talk about that. I've been wanting to actually do a live on
I'm
that
coming
situation
up.
where
I'm
she
coming
told
up.
her, you have no class and no education. Why is it that Black woman excellence irritates so many people, and they can't even make any sense? They so angry about it. I mean, I could go on and on and on about that. But again, it goes to the fact of being able to endure. You know what I'm saying? Being able to endure. And I appreciate what Chewy said, because I think he's onto something. When you expect something just because you just walk in, right? Like I always say, a lot of people in this country, right? They on third base thought they hit a triple, right? No. You know what I'm saying? And so they haven't had to deal with failure and haven't had to deal with adversity. And I think that causes really bad situations for all of us, unfortunately. But yes, but thank you, fam. Someone thank you for letting me up.
Of course, y'all. Make sure y'all are following Smitty, and you are going to see him somewhere soon. I just want to let you guys know. Have a good night, love.
Thank you, Smitty.
Muchas gracias. If y'all don't know, Smitty is also too bilingual. Let me tell you something. That's a intelligent, smart man right there. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm also going to do a quick mod announcement for you.
Yeah.
Gal, we've been on this live for at least an hour. Why are we not at 100,000K likes? Tap that screen. Like you said earlier, please share it to your story. If you want to share it to 2 or 3 friends, if you share it more than that, TikTok views it as spam. Miss Jess is here giving us all this free education. So the least you can do is pay her up because we need Black women to get paid for their work. Yeah, that's my little mod announcement. What I wanted to chime in with too, I think, especially when it comes to white women, right? White women don't really ever push narratives. They just kind of accept what's given to them. And the narrative for them for the very longest time was marry a man, have kids, and raise kids. But definitely in the later part of life, we're now seeing that the women, white women, are having to work. And a lot of parents that become parents aren't parenting anymore because they're too exhausted. We're working overtime. We're doing all this, that, and the other. And, you know, I can't speak for back then, but I do think the tablets, the iPhones, the video games, every white woman, if their kid starts crying in public, the first thing they do is hand them that phone, they hand them the tablet, they hand them the thing to shut them up. That's not parenting. And I think that's also what's led to the incline or in the increasing of the number of pew-pewings that we're seeing. It's because parents aren't parenting their kids or not teaching them what's right or wrong. If a kid screams, then parents get overstimulated and it's just this whole mess. I also think when it comes to white women, you know, they are the biggest candidates of saying we're doing our self-healing or self-growing. And to them, that's yoga on the beach, or I'm writing in my journal every day. That's not healing. That's not growing.
I agree.
And so how is a person supposed to teach their kids self-regulation if they themselves don't even know what self-regulation is?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna play there.
I would agree. Can I get some massive fucking coconuts in the chat right now? I want to see number coconuts and coconut Pams, you guys. Thank you so much for the love. She said, "Did you miss me?" I did. I don't know if you know, I sent you a message on Instagram. I know this what's this called? This administration is fucking crazy, and I always try to check on my people as much as I can. Just to kind of check on their mental at certain times. She said, "Did you miss me? It's so good to see you. I've had withdrawals from not having words of wisdom. It's so good to see you here. Love you, beautiful." Let's get my baby Parker's up here as well. I would definitely have to I agree with that. Maybe the healing. What do you do? Why you keep but I will say to the ones who, because the white tea birth rate is going down, I will want to say thank y'all for, in some type of capacity, slowing down the birth of demons. And I appreciate that. Parker's welcome in. How are you, beautiful?
I'm good. I would also like to thank, Wiener has big feelings, but I would also like to thank all of my fellow white ladies out there for swallowing now. Good job.
Yes, come on, swallow.
Yes. I came up because I was like, "Oh, Andrew's saying the thing." Where I was like, it is not to not one that's like it's all women's fault, but for real, white ladies fuck shit up so hardcore, historically and presently, because what happened was is after the Civil War, the Southern white ladies actually legitimately got together and started organizing. We're like, this didn't go the way that we wanted it to. And we don't want to be demonized in the history books. So the Daughters of the Confederacy started controlling the history books. And today they are known as the Daughters of the American Revolution because they just rebranded themselves. Most history books nationwide are still printed and made in Texas for this reason. And exactly, fucking Moms of Liberty. And it's this whole
Those are the ones that start banning the books in fucking Florida.
Yes, because statistically, the books that are banned the most are banned by PTA moms. Like more than prisons, more than any other public sent. It's always PTA moms that are heading the censoring of any book forms. Good Lord, Wiener, he knows I'm awake.
Was he outside?
No. He's my roommate is gone for a few days, and he's like, I'm alone, because he gets upset if you're not just like touching him all the time. I love that wiener dog, but damn. But like, in terms of, I know we joke all the time like white people don't have culture. We do have white culture, and it's isolationism. And because
that's what ChatGPT says, it's individualism over collective.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And every other culture puts the collective over the individual. But white culture is the opposite. And because it's so isolating, it makes kids a lot more vulnerable, specifically to their parents, specifically to their church. And there's a difference. There's a drastic difference between black church and white church. What? Jessica.
Drastic difference. Tell me some things that like are even said in church. I saw Maria post a video and said that our pastor said that God said that we should submit to the government or something like that. And even if the government is doing things that are heinous and unlawful and not right, just trust God and it'll all work out, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And that makes you, and she's like, I've been going to church every Sunday ever since I've been back in the house with my mom. And that makes you question the entire thing, everything that you learned. So if you're just willing to change just like that, I'm questioning everything else you fucking told me. I don't even believe in it. But I'm sorry, I kind of got you off track. Go ahead. Because you said that even too in the like the churches are different. And after you
Oh,
finish,
no, you're
I want
right.
to know in how so.
So like, for example, and this is one that I always like emphasize just in passing all the time, where I'm like, y'all, because my music tastes are so specific that when we get into music discussions, I'm like, I don't like Christian music. I like gospel, but that is not the same as Christian music. And I'm not even talking about the hymns. I'm talking about when MTV started getting popular, then literally white churches, literally, what was his name? Bill Gothard, and who founded a fundamentalist Christian organization in 1961. He was like, oh, all of these kids are flocking to MTV. And that featured a lot of not white artists. And because it was, because that was good fucking music, they started making Christian bands, but just like white Christian bands to rival actual like black cultural music of any sort. And then they use that through the Institute of Basic Life Principles. Like the fundamentalism is unhinged with how much they did. So they started making Christian music to rival rap or rock or like actual blues and rhythm. And then they use these concerts to attract specifically as many white kids as they could, and use that as been like, welcome to the summer camp. And like the indoctrination just hit. And it's so many of them are adults now of like the first round of what's called the Joshua generation. And this is just like an example of the organization that white people will put into indoctrinating kids into this wild amount of isolating you, breaking you down. And what was important about that wasn't so much was the religion, is they were teaching children, and I mean like children, teenagers, and little kids, to idolize how they were going to unalive.
Hold on, what?
Yes, because it was seen as a way that you could prove your faith. So like the ultimate thing that you could do was be assaulted, was be great for the Lord, was to have a gun held to your head and questioned of, do you really believe in God? And the Columbine shooting actually built into that, because they heard that one of the shooters asked one of the students in passing, "Do you believe in God?" And what actually happened was they asked that. The student answered however they answered, and the shooter laughed at them and continued on because they were just messing with them. But the fundies heard the story and said, "Oh, she said yes, and then she was unalived for it." And they start teaching this in mass to thousands and thousands and thousands of kids. They wrote fake memoirs about it to teach directly to the kids. So that way they could look forward to the moment that they are put in that position.
See, these are the type of things we need to fucking know.
I do want to. I do want.
See,
I do
y'all
want to
tell them,
stress.
bro, like, yeah, I think, they're just white supremacy. I want to know specific things that are fucking happening. Can I get some coconuts in the chat for Parker's really quick? Jaw dropped, okay?
I do want to stress that white tea churches, as someone who grew up Southern Methodist, I've been to all the Southern Baptist churches, Churches of God. I used to play music for the black churches in my hometown, like because I was in the band, so I played set guitar, all this stuff for all these different churches. I can tell you right now, these YT churches, they're just death cults. They're unaliving cults. Like what she mentioned there and talking about these camps, it's actually unlocking years of trauma I've locked away. Thank you for that, Parker.
Sorry.
Like,
No, because that's
I
the thing.
suppressed them for
They
years.
just push it to the side, and like it's not a thing that even contributes to things like this, right? Like, and after you idolize, you're unaliving so hard for Christ. You're
but this is also
gonna
why
want to
they
bring it to
don't.
life.
So when you hear them talk about like how they don't care about climate change, they don't care about the plight and suffering of fellow Christians or anybody that's not white tea. If you think about it from the perspective of they are members of an unaliving cult, a death cult, you see the world in a fundamentally different way where none of it matters. Race doesn't matter. None of this matters because we're all going to be unalive soon, and God's just going to reset the world. And that's legitimately how they talk and think about it. And it's also weird because the way they talk about God and like religion is very pagan-y. It's a very pagan way of talking about religion, where it's like, I have a personal relationship with Christ. He's my next door neighbor. We talk every. What pastors literally talk about in some way, and they talk about in very weird terms. Yeah, I know. But this is real. This is legitimately how they talk and they think about things as well. And as someone who's like worked in camps and actually tried to help out with local homeless shelters and everything else when I was in high school and college. But at the root of it, a lot of these people, they are just.
I was raised Christian.
They're just members of a death cult.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Go ahead, Parker. Sorry.
No.
No, I was like, it's very spot on because. Oh, do
no,
it.
y'all go ahead.
Go, Andrew.
Okay. I was just gonna wind in. I was like, that's why like white churches are different from black churches because black churches have, and not to like play on the word, but they have soul. They have, I was like, you're building community, you're connecting with family, if not by blood, then definitely by community, by choice. But white churches are about breaking you down, making you vulnerable, making you submissive. Like one of the standards for the Institute of Basic Life Principles, which, by the way, they made like VHS tapes that were part of a homeschooling curriculum to get kids while they were homeschooled before social media became really popular. And so that was like the only TV that they would watch. It was the only things that they would be learned at, that they would learn at home. But one of the things that they would do would
Hey, beautiful.
This shit is so dramatic.
No, take your time.
They, because within like a decade or so of it really kicking off through the 60s and 70s, obviously higher up in the church, which is prone to happen, is there are essaying that is happening. And as whispers start being spread, then the head of that church goes, oh, you know what also is a sin? Gossiping.
To get you to shut up about it.
Mhm.
Wow.
Like it is just a controlling factor. It's like white churches, they just use in really any white institution just uses that institution as a weapon to control, never really to build up.
'Cause they don't
And
believe.
then you end up with kids that have poor coping mechanisms, that don't know how to deal with trauma that they don't even know that they're going through. They don't know how to process all of the indoctrination that they're being fed about who's better and who's worse and who's judging, and that you're always judging. And if you carry this sin with you, but also you're white, so you have to be better than everybody else, but also you're a poor white, so everything is harder for you and everyone else should leave you alone. And like it just spirals in on itself. And that's why we have these acting out shenanigans, to put it lightly.
Oh, girl, now you're digging into something because I used to be like, oh, the pastors over there stealing the tithe money and stuff like that, but they are not teaching
Mhm.
that. They are not. You are absolutely right. They are not teaching that in one bit. Not, and I went to a lot of different churches just as I was just kind of looking for like what fits me, even as a child and as a teenager. Not one of them. Andrew, I know you said you want to say something because you got to drop. Go ahead, love.
This is a different sort of question, but still on the same topic. I was raised Catholic, and I remember there was one time where there used to be like a back and forth, and as a kid, obviously you get indoctrinated, right? Because when you hear the songs over and over again, you don't ask questions, you just start singing it because you want to join in the crowd, right? And I remember there used to be this back and forth where it was like, may God be with you and also with you and with the spirit, all that whole thing, right? And I remember one year they changed it from, instead of it being towards everybody, they changed it to being specifically to people of good will. And I remember, I think I was like 12 or 13 when I heard that. And I remember it sitting so wrong in my belly. Because it's like, first of all, who are we to judge who has goodwill or bad will? Because that doesn't judge the people who have the quote unquote bad will that we would need to pray more for so that they didn't wrong other people, right? But as I'm thinking back of it too, do we feel, and this could be just something I'm witnessing, but do we feel in how white people teach their religion today that capitalism has been infiltrating the white Christian churches? Because anytime I hear a white person that talks about their blessings, it's always materialistic. It's always, oh, I got a promotion, praise him. I got a brand new car, praise him. I got a brand new house, praise him. So do we feel that that's also that level of indoctrination, that if you pray harder, God will bless you more with materialistic things? And that's not at all the practicings involved with the Bible and the teachers. Those are the two things that I kind of thought of as Parker was talking about this. So yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
wanted
you're
to
absolutely
present.
right. They're like, oh my God, I got $1 million. Praise God. Then when something bad go wrong, they're like, it's the devil. Yeah, but you're right. The way that capitalism, especially with the laws that he passed saying that churches don't have to report sexual abuse anymore, churches can now endorse candidates. And then I'm going to play a video for here real quick. I'll drop you down. Andrew, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. Nails is eating down. Fire. Okay, guys.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you. A friend went to my grandma's homecoming with me and couldn't believe the celebration of life, right? Because that's what we do. Like when we have a funeral, we have our time at the funeral, but then there's like there's a celebration, especially leaving this motherfucker. But I want to play a video really quick. Here we go. I don't know why my shit is acting up. Come on, bitch. I don't know why it's not responding. Okay, we'll wait for it then. Until it loads up, you guys, please give me a follow if you have not done so. Tap the screen, share the live. We're almost to 100K, so let's go ahead and knock that out. I appreciate you guys. Let me refresh it first.
Buttons.
But
As
Can I say something quick on Parker's note?
mhm.
So I just did some like unpacking as she was explaining things, thinking of things that happened. So when I was in my church youth group, we literally did a event where it was multiple church youth groups where we were quote unquote being persecuted. So they like had us all go around town while they had other members of the church or whatever, where the persecutors coming to find us because we were going to be persecuted as white Christians.
What?
yes,
What?
to be
100%.
clear,
This
these
is a
are the
real
same.
thing.
And it's
Yeah,
crazy.
these are
If
the
anything,
same
it'd be your
type of
own people
people.
coming to persecute you, but whatever.
These are the same type of people who perpetrated the H cost, and now, and for the last like what 60, 70 years, they have been training kids, Christian kids of their own ilk, that to play act being the victims of the H cost, as if that has ever been a
Wow,
reality for
what?
them.
And
Yes.
maybe getting them ready because the Heritage Foundation has playing on this, this agenda since like 40 years. And if you know that that's the end goal, like I want to get you guys ready for it so you don't fight it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it's like the people that scream about the war on Christianity are white Christian nationalists. I was like, it feeds into each other. It's one of their control tactics. Oh,
Is wild.
yeah,
Well,
and I
then
forgot
also
this part.
to
I was like, they
claim
literally
the
call the
indoctrination
kids
part.
warriors, that they are training warriors for
You're
Christ.
warriors of Christ. I was about to say, yeah, that's a lot of the rhetoric is very much like
The
they
fuck?
literally say it's like you are a warrior of Christ, you are a warrior of light.
Yep.
It was like it's like you have been anointed. They literally use the word Messiah, which means anointed one, and Hebrew. It literally means the anointed one. They literally will use that phrase. They're literally when you say like why do some white people think their God gets gifts on earth or think they're Jesus Christ? It's because we've literally told as kids, you are anointed one. We were told we were Jesus.
I'm gonna have to change the topic to what is white churches teaching y'all? Because what the fuck?
Crazy
The
stuff. Like
fact that
absolute crazy stuff.
Dan, Chewy, Parkers, and Bree in the chat all saying the same thing. She said, yes, my church did something like that with us to prepare us for adult life. Lets me know that it is all across you guys' culture. You want a culture there, you got
Yeah,
it.
like
Not
yeah,
only
until like I
that,
heard the other stories, I did not realize it was such a thing. And like that, like I said, it just made me like unpack a lot of things where I'm like, oh, good lord.
so one
Yeah,
of the things I remember being this is what I experienced while I was in going to some Southern Baptist churches, youth groups. I was working with them. Again, like I was doing new music, so I went to for a couple of months and a couple of ones. They would always say it as they were always frame it as you are a warrior against darkness, you're a warrior against Satan. Be aware of Satan and like be harsh against Satan when you see the devil. It's like when you know it's like they use that phrase of you know evil when you see it and have show no fear, show no mercy when you see it. This is stuff they're telling like 16 and 17-year-olds that are just trying to get laid. Like that's all everyone was trying to do. But this is what they're teaching us in like 16, 17, 18, 15, 14 13-year-olds at these youth camps and everything else. I'm just now remembering it all, just being like, wait a minute, I remember this now.
This is fucking wild. This is blowing my mind. This is
Well, here's
I
the other
ought to
crazy
do
part.
a vlog with a hidden camera and go into like a white evangelical church and see what the fuck is going on, and then show y'all probably how they gonna look at me like, yeah, we Christians, but we don't like you. Like, bruh.
no. And when I tell you, like, it starts not just at homeschooling, it starts when they are babies. When they are babies, they have what's called the blanket game, where like the baby, the toddler, picks out the toy that they want to play with, and then they put the baby in the middle of the blanket, and they put the toy just out of reach off of the edge of the blanket, and they say, no, you can't play with it. And every time they reach for it, they tell them no, until they give up. Like, they start breaking the baby's spirit
Wow.
so early.
Imagine being a kid and telling them you're a warrior of Christ. Figure, I just got here. Figure out, idolize how you're gonna fucking unalive, how you're not gonna be here. This is crazy. I'm gonna play
The
the video.
thing is, the thing is, it's very banal. Like I know we're mentioning this the highlights, but it's all very banal language. Like they talk about it in very like small ways. It's like looking back, you think about it in some ways of like how like a coach would like fire you up for like a game or something, and like they mentioned and everything else. But the thing is that when that rhetoric is kind of couched and everything else, it's like, wait a minute, okay, this is starting to make sense now why they would put it this way, because it's all so very banal and how they approach it. So you're most of the time you're not going to hear like something absolutely crazy, but it's all the small dog whistles that build in a crescendo with each other.
I'm gonna play this video really quick. Oh shit. God damn it. Pushing too many damn buttons. Okay, I think
TikTok doesn't want you to be great.
right. There we go. Here we go. All right. Let's see if it. Okay, there it goes.
Been a heathen, but now I'm back home. Now I'm back with my family. I go to church every Sunday. I was raised Christian, like fire and brimstone Christian. And for the past like decade, I've been a heathen, but now I'm back home. Now I'm back with my family. I go to church every Sunday, and things haven't pissed me off until today. Because today we got an entire lesson about submitting to the government, because the government is ordained by God. Even if the government is doing vile, evil shit, it is all part of God's plan, and we shouldn't worry ourselves with human governance. And they threw a bunch of Bible verses about submission to the government, right? Giving to the government what is theirs and being a good citizen. Now, this lesson had the opposite effect on me, right? If a minister is going to tell me that the government is ordained by God, then I know that God instilled into me the rebellious spirit of Jesus Christ. All right? Because somehow the minister forgot that Jesus was a wanted criminal by the Roman Empire, that he was violently and brutally murdered by the state for worshiping different than the government allowed. So during the time of rising fascism, where our government is no longer respecting the sanctuary status of Catholic churches and is targeting them for mass deportations of innocent people based on their race, and when you target a church based on their religion, you want to tell me God co-signed that? You want to tell me that God told me to submit to that? You want to tell me to submit to a government that is run by a man who put his name on the Bible, put his name in a Bible and sells it for profit? Because I remember Jesus flipping over the moneylender's table and whipping people with a weapon he made himself, because he was so mad that people within the government would come into the Lord's temple and make a profit. You're telling me that the Jesus who protects children and loves them with all of the pure innocence of the Lord would want me to submit to a government covering up for corrupt pedophiles? I know Jesus died for everyone's sin, including that one, because there is no way it is not a sin to have a service filled with such hypocrisy and deception, and then follow it up with a song about Jesus rising up and fighting against sin in this world. Apologies for the cursing sprinkled through. I'm still a heathen, but that Christian upbringing knowledge has not left me, and I will not be taken in by that type of messaging. Absolutely not.
Which is crazy. So they never gave a fuck. And I don't know if anybody watched American Horror Stories, I think it is that I was watching it. There is a season, I think it's in the stories, like not the American Horror Story, where they have a season per story, but like American Stories, like each season has its own little short story. And then it was about this pastor was um just using religion to manipulate the people to some disease was going around, but if you eat the heart of the unaliving or something like that, and then the women who had their own properties or who knew how to heal through herbs, they would literally like unalive them and steal their property in the name of Jesus and get people to do it as well. which is crazy that they
Oh,
have
yeah.
that type of hold on them.
Yeah, the witch burnings weren't actually like witch burnings. The Salem trials weren't about that. They were land grabs where, because the accuser who made the accusation would be the one who would get the land of the witch that they were attacking.
Wow.
So I was like, and it was always single women, generally who were smart, who knew herbs, who knew science, because they were sustaining on their own. And that was living outside of the norm, the cultural narrative of living under masculinity, living under God, living for your family. So it was like it was very pointed.
Mm. And
So
also
much so
too,
that oh, I was just gonna go on a cat tangent. You're fine, keep going.
it also equates to like they have a proposition in Texas that they want to vote. Like they know with the abortion ban and everything, people want to lock up sexual abusers because they're like, why do the rapists don't get this and the rapists don't get that? And the fact that they want to pass a law saying that basically if you're accused of a sexual crime, violence, we can put you in jail and you cannot get out until your trial. You can't have a bail. Well, you can just accuse anybody, in which they'll probably default on their homes, and you can take those two or whatever the case that it is that they might have. And whatever they might have, their children, put them in foster care so they can turn out hopefully it'll turn out to be just one of your little worker bees or something like that. I'm like, we have to vote against this. So if you're in Texas, there's a prop coming up saying that they want
Oh my God, is that
to
Prop 50?
I don't know. It's in Texas. I want to say it's like Proposition like 4 or 5. I was kind of reading through the things that they
Okay.
have coming up because I know they up to some bullshit. Mm.
I only asked because someone in the bad place earlier kept screaming. One of the ops was very excited about Proposition 50. I was like, I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna mute you because you're
Because you're getting on my goddamn nerves. Okay. Let me see what.
like, but the there's like other nuances to the indoctrination of specifically white children that caused mass unalivings is that narrative of entitlement that's built into whiteness, because you're not just isolated, you are unique. It's that whole Lone Ranger thing where like I can make a difference. I can do everything because I am by default part of the superior group. I am a lone hero. I'm not part of a team. So I deserve more. And when I do not have more, that means other people must be taking from me.
Mm.
And when that is combined with like that whole toxic masculinity, specifically amongst white boys, then like it builds up of this is why Black women are treated like trash, because because it's the bottom rung of the patriarchy where women aren't supposed to have a voice, have independent thought, be strong, be capable, be able to learn, be able to emotionally regulate. And Black women typically can do all of that and then some with flying colors. So it's like it's this epitome of everything they've been taught is wrong, and they flip out about it constantly. They cannot cope.
So what are they saying? Like, as your dad saying, like, you're the one that's going to change the world. You're better than them. Or do they say stuff like, those N words don't have nothing on you, or like, like they had I think said earlier, like they'd say it in those subtle ways. What are the things that are like being said that like or to make them
I was
feel
like,
like that?
it's literally built into our language. It's the microaggressions that everybody likes to be like, oh, that's such a new term. I'm like, but it's not. And the way that they have been used is not new. Like the word lazy literally only exists because it was used against anybody with a tan, anybody who was marginalized, to demonize and say, you are lazy, you're not good enough. But I am. I have things because I deserve it. It's why we also have that idea that like if you're poor, it must be because you did something wrong. It's because you're not working hard enough. It's because you don't want it good enough. It's because you're not really trying. It's because you want to be homeless, which is a fucking wild thing to say, but they say it all the time.
You know what's crazy? Like when you're learning a new language, say, especially as a child, right? And I'm learning a new word and I say jump and I don't know what jump means. And so you demonstrate it by doing it, right? I'll jump up and down like this is jump. So if I'm telling you they're lazy and I see them working hard, I may think that that is what the word lazy means. When I see people going to work doing it, they may not even know what the fuck the words actually mean, like subliminally. Because how can you look at people building this country, especially black and brown people, working their ass off, working two jobs, some of them single mothers, some of them not, building up all of this construction, picking all of your fruits and vegetables very quickly. And the way that they was out there doing their work, I admire them. Um, doing, some of these places, like I'm not gonna lie, there is a big field in front of my apartments. They're gonna build a plaza. When all this shit happened, when they started picking up, ICE really started picking up people. There were Mexicans out of front at first, and then there wasn't. It was just white guys. But for the time, I swear about like a month or two, it was just white guys out there. They would literally drive up and down the field with their fucking truck, park next to each other and talk, eat food. Nothing was getting done. It wasn't until today that I saw Hispanic people back on the land, and they've gotten so much shit done in one fucking day. So to sit up and see them work so hard, not even just doing that, before them in hospitality, restaurants and all of that, and to say you're lazy while you do shit, you must don't know what the fucking word means. But if your parents, as you're coming up and they're telling you that person's lazy as they're working hard, I'm going to equate laziness with work. I don't know if this makes sense to you guys, but because you don't fucking
No,
get
it
it. Because
does.
how dare you? The now runs
I was
deep,
like, and
deep
the
in the motherfucking.
two, it does. The two bullet points of that is that because then you get black and brown students who have white teachers who are saying, oh, because you're not working in the way I expect of you, or because now I have different expectations of you, whether I'm aware of my own biases, now you are lazy by default. And I'm grading you harder, or I'm grading you worse, or I'm treating you a certain way so that way you don't want to be like, you don't want to be in class, you don't want to be learning, you don't want to behave for this teacher because they're treating you less than your white peers because of their bias that you are therefore lazy. The other flip side is that is that either you're lazy or now you're stealing the jobs. Like even that rhetoric goes in of, well, it's not the merit that this person is willing to do this job at this pay at a better like clearly it's not about qualifications. Clearly it's about literally the effort in this capacity of they're just willing to do it. So they're not stealing a job from you. Also, there are people granting those jobs. They're not being taken.
Why you're not mad at the company?
Exactly.
We're not even trying to go after the
It's like
corporations
the people
that's hiring
making the
them.
hiring practices. I was like,
And
you
then-
can't have both.
And then they say they're taking lesser pay. But historically, black men, white women, black women, women of color all get paid less than white men. Nobody is not taking the job. You take the job, so it's cool when you take a lesser pay. But then when he take a lesser pay, you wanna get an attitude. And my thing is, you don't even know if he's taking a lesser pay because nobody's coming to you like, oh yeah, I took your job and I'm gonna take less than you did. Like nobody's coming to you saying this shit. Why would I tell you how much I'm getting paid? They'd be like, oh, he's an undocumented immigrant, he's an illegal. You think I'm breaking the law? I'm gonna come to you and be like, oh, guess what? I'm breaking the law. I don't have my documents. Why would I fucking tell you what I'm doing? I'm about pay transparency. Yeah, exactly. So you can know if you want to take it. And then have them still take it because they need the job. But then what the thing is, when they take it, then it's a problem. So, and then some of these jobs y'all don't want, which is why they hire them, not just because you feel like they're taking less. Y'all don't want it. Not only do y'all want it, just prime example, y'all don't fucking do the work. Y'all set up here 2 months running back and forth in this goddamn field doing nothing. Nothing. Y'all don't get shit done. You don't work fast. You don't work diligently. You're fucking lazy. Shout out to the Brett Raid. Welcome
This is
in,
such a
Brett
good topic for him to rate on.
Raid. They don't do shit. That's why I'm like, bro, y'all need them. And I don't know if it's the delusion. Is there somewhere else that they have also too been also too somewhere that they have been taught that we need them? Everything, the most essential things have been built by Black people. Y'all need us, Black and brown. We all need
Mhm.
y'all all need us. So what would you do without it? You couldn't even come over here and take your fucking land and get your shit together without us too. You had to come to us to be to get us together. Thank you, Amanda. Yes, y'all. We need 18 more
Well,
hard hands, and then we'll do our last one. Our last one big gift card, and then we're gonna get out of here. I kind of got a little baby headache, and I'm gonna go work out in the morning.
but what you said, Jess, is exactly the point. You just said that you just mentioned like how we white folk couldn't do it without Black and brown folk is exactly the point. So in that cognitive dissonance, if you fundamentally know at some level that everything you own is built on a facade to some degree, it's like it's like everything you have, your opportunities you've had, everything you've been able to build, well, yes, it had something to do with you. It also required the help of other people that you've considered lesser. History is considered and treated lesser, and at some point and has done a majority, if not all of the work to get you here, the shoulders of giants situation. Then that cognitive dissonance, if that breaks, violence is not a very far away from that, because it essentially is, everything you believe about yourself and your superiority is a lie, fundamentally a lie, or not even just a lie, that that it's a lie, and yet you perpetuate the lie. At some point, that cognitive dissonance, there's a breaking point there at some point, and that's why you get these, when all that indoctrination breaks, or all of those institutions, things you learn breaks, then it's not surprising that someone would go into Mass Pupua, a school or something else, when you believe at some point it's like, no, I can't accept this reality. I need to make this reality what I've always believed to be true.
Well, and that goes back to,
I was just gonna say, we literally breastfed your baby. Like, bro,
Mhm.
we gotta take care of your fucking kids too, on top of picking your cotton and building your shitty while you beat our ass, flipping your pillows, cooking your food, bringing your tea, massaging your feet. What the fuck are you talking about? But
yeah, well,
but
that was
anyways,
part of
go ahead.
the like from the very beginning, trying to force Black people to submit, and then convince them that they needed their white masters. Like, that was the whole thing of the first boatload, or not first boatload, but the first like couple of boatloads of actual Africans that were brought over. They were Africans, and they had no tolerance for how they were being treated. There were entire boats that would, as a group, fully chained, choose to walk into the sea rather than face what was waiting for them on this land. And so that freaked out the white people so much that they started the breeding plantations. So that way, then they could get their little claws into Black babies as they were growing up, and convince them that they should be grateful to be slaves. And that's why they even made the slave Bible, which is different from that versions of the current Bible, because then it was made to convince Black Christian slaves that they were meant to be slaves.
You don't
That
even have
was
to go.
all that they should be.
You don't even have to go that far back. I mean, I'm teaching the American Revolution right now, and you can read from the time period in the 1770s and 1780s, when people are calling out the British king and the British Parliament are calling out the hypocrisy of the revolution, because they're saying, hey, look, you guys are wanting this revolution, but you have I think at the time that there was what was it, 2 million Black Americans were enslaved at this point in the Revolutionary period. And so even at the time, people acknowledged the hypocrisy of the society that existed and was going to be created after the American Revolution. And that's the fundamental brittleness of American white identity, as opposed to other identities that exist both in the Americas and in Europe, Africa, and Asia.
If you can get your hands on a slave Bible, anybody, I would love to read it. I would love to know. I think it's important. I gotta know what the fuck y'all using. You gotta be ready when it's coming. I need to know what the fuck is coming. I need to know what they're teaching y'all. And shit, bitch, I'm trying to free white people, okay? Because they got a hold on your mind, bitch. The things that they're saying, that is not normal. What up, Hector? How you doing? Hector, I got a new mic stand. Look, I can touch it and it don't slap me in the fucking face, okay? Yo, my shit was hanging off. I had it like bootlegged, and like I couldn't touch it. And then if I said something a little too, if I breathe on it too hard, like it'll just all come tumbling down. And the light is connected to it, so that came tumbling down. Thank you.
I'm so glad.
So shout out Big Coconuts in the chat for Hector. He said, yo, you need another one. How much does it cost? So shout out to the dono. I appreciate you. I always love get you some friends that prop you up, like Jamal said. Jessica said, let my people go. I'm trying to free them. I'm trying to free their fucking mind. Because, bro, that is not happening in Black churches, period. They are indoctrinating this Warriors for Christ shit. This idolize your fucking unaliving. Bruh, you're missing out on life.
No, and I mean, like, and it starts kindergarten, pre-K. I was the daughter of 2 ministers, and they tried to send me to like a Christian pre-K at first. And I came home the first day crying about how the devil was inside me, so I was inherently going to go to hell. And my mom went, "Fuck that! Like, we're not doing this."
Imagine the shit that they're telling you that they're telling these little children.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I was taught we should suffer in life to be deserving of heaven and death.
Yeah.
Do you think the billionaires are suffering? Do you think Jeff Bezos, when he rented out all of Venice, Italy, that they were suffering?
Depends how many orcas are around their yachts.
They're suffering. It seems like they're doing anything but making you suffer. It seems like,
and
they don't even believe the shit that they're telling you.
A lot of this rhetoric really changed after 9/11. A lot of that militaristic rhetoric was really baked in more and more after 9/11 and continues to today. So that trajectory of, we're attacked, we're being persecuted, we're HCOS victims, really comes in after 9/11 and just ramps and ramps and ramps up till today. It's still the same exact rhetoric. They still talk about being attacked as America's under attack. It's your job. You're a warrior of Christ. Go defeat the evil. That's literally. I've had discussions with people that I've known from youth groups that talk
Daddy
about
Satan
this.
just came in. What up, Daddy Satan?
Yeah. I'm like, what are you guys? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, what are you talking about? Like, people I've known from like my church communities that I grew up with. I'm like, what on earth are you talking about? Like, what are you like? What schmugs are you on, and where can I get those? Because that sounds crazy. Like, I do not know where these fears and rhetorics come from. But if you start from that post 9/11 mindset and extrapolate it today to where everyone is your enemy and you're a victim and you're being persecuted all the time, then every action that is being taken is like, I'm not saying it's obviously, I'm not agreeing with this in any way, shape, or form, but it starts to make sense why people would act a certain way when this is what they are thinking all the time.
This is crazy.
And
I feel like the you should suffer thing is like, so when I get ready to grape you and beat you, you're not going to say anything about it because you think this is your way into heaven. That is fucking crazy.
No, you can listen to interviews of specifically white women say that who have deconstructed in the meantime, but they're like, we were jealous. We were jealous when heard that someone had been assaulted like that, because oh, what a privilege to have endured that, to prove that they were worthy of heaven and Jesus.
Y'all, this goes deeper than we think. Yes, exactly. That's exactly why you wouldn't believe that what my church. Oh my god. Oh my god. So when we say what the fuck is wrong with these white MAGA women, they're voting against their own interests. If you are indoctrinated to think that you're supposed to suffer and these men are supposed to rape you, these men are supposed to do these things to you, you want that. That's why I say we may be looking at it all different. We like you're voting against your interest. That's not their interest. When your ideologies and your beliefs are different, it's not your interest. Hey, B Just. It's a privilege to suffer in that way because that the more you suffer, the more you deserve heaven. They gonna be mad. I hope they go to hell, bitch. I would reincarnate, come back, and and come out to my pastor, bitch. You got me fucked up. What the hell is this? It's hot down here. Send me back. I got something to do. Make me a ghost, bitch. Something. Give me some. Let me haunt a nigga. Keep me between spirits because I got some unfinished business. Hell no. These are the things that need to be. Oh my God. Oh my God. With you guys' permission, I know we are in line, but with you guys' permission, do you mind if I just clip some of the things that are happening to post it? I mean, it lives on YouTube, but for YouTube Shorts and or TikTok.
Yeah.
But if you say no, that's fine too. Because I'm like, these are the things we need to fucking know. What are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And when
Yeah,
I think
I
I,
was like,
replay it back, it don't put your boxes on there either. So
it's whatever floats your boat. Hi,
because
Daddy
you got to
Satan.
understand not only your enemy, but the people who are manipulating your enemy and what they are saying to them, because they're shit. Really, maybe that's why they come up with self-centered and acting like a victim, bitch. You want to be a victim so bad? Yes, bitch. I'm trying to get into heaven. Victimize me.
No, really, I was like, that's why they, as kids and teenagers, they LARP them. They teach them how to pretend to be persecuted, and then they're convinced by the time they're adults.
This is also why they make such a big deal of self-persecuting and playing down the persecutions of other people or races, because it's like, you're not getting to heaven over me. I've suffered way worse than you. I need to go to heaven. Don't beat me on that chariot to heaven. Great song. Don't beat me on that ride to heaven. That's my ticket. Don't take my ticket from me. You're stealing my ticket. Why are you stealing my ticket from me? I've suffered so much. I worked so hard. This is why they have that.
Do they all preach that only a certain amount of people can get into heaven?
Only Presbyterians really do it, but there is this idea that only God accepts a certain amount of people, and you have to do a certain amount of suffering. But it's that
God is
rationale,
fucked
that
up
logic.
to create this many people, and if they all did right, I'm not going to accept all of you. So some of you niggas, the way that they try to portray it, God seems really fucked up in some instances to be like, I'm going to create 300 and I'm going to create 6 billion of you, but I'm only taking 1 billion of you into heaven. So fight for the best, for the best part. You know what I'm saying? Fight for your spot in my heaven. Like, oh my God, is it Hunger Games, bitch? But my thing is, I'm not thinking you want to be a victim, you want to be oppressed so bad, you want things to happen to you because you're trying to get in fucking heaven, and you only can get in heaven from suffering. But white privilege and white supremacy has set you up to have allegedly a better life. But which contradicts each other. If I'm having this better life, but I'm not suffering, then I got to create ways to fucking suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's contradictory. So this is the hints of the cognitive dissonance, and then
They're
that's
fucking
why
confused. I say, you know what? I'm finna blow this bitch.
Yeah, I was like, and then they snap, and that's why. Logic, make good choices.
That's what it is. Okay, y'all. Tomorrow's topic is same but not the same. What are they teaching in white churches? What are they teaching in white churches? God damn. Atheist, how you doing?
I'm
hey,
doing good.
Satan
How are
Daddy.
you,
Is that what your
Jessica?
name is? Daddy Satan, how you doing?
Logic is fine if you want to just call me Logic.
Okay, what up, Logic? How you feeling?
I just wanted to comment because I grew up in an entirely white Catholic church. I don't know from other religions, but I know Catholicism, they just teach you that you're evil inherently. Everything you do is bad. Even if you do something good, that's inherently bad because you're not living up to the love of God or to the goodness of God. So you're inherently a piece of shit.
And then and even if you do something good, you're never going to live up to it. So why
Yeah,
am
it's
I
still
trying to
bad.
get in heaven?
Exactly. I asked my
Oh,
grandparents, I'm like,
they
if
can't
someone
even
can cure
steal a religion
cancer,
right.
if someone cures cancer, are they good? They're like, no.
Then what do you have to do to
I
get
have a
into
question.
heaven then?
You just have to hope that God feels sorry for you enough to let
Oh my
you.
God!
Well, because like the whole thing about like the reason why women have cramps every month is because you're paying for the original sin of Eve eating the apple. Like that is taught in white churches.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is crazy. YT churches separated by state lines. What about the outer width? I'm not sure. I'm not. Oh my God, this is crazy. And you think like, with social media and everything that you have going on, you think like, oh, they're inherently racist. They're this and then that. Like that's why I think it's so important to get down to the root. Like what is happening from birth, bitch? What are they saying? What are they doing? What are they teaching you? Where do you have to go? What about the church? What about we need to know all of it because somewhere along the line is contributing to this, right? But I could see how they could break. Like I'm fucking confused. You know what I mean?
Like, this is the reason why hundreds of years ago, the Catholic Church, when they were selling indulgences, like, yeah, you'll never be good enough unless you pay the church, and then you'll be good enough. We can forgive you of your sins if you give us money.
It's a scam, bitch. It's the
It's a
biggest
scam.
scam of the world.
Mhm.
Which
It's a
is
fucking
why
scam.
I'm more spiritual than it. And y'all got me fucked up.
Mhm.
It's
This
a
is why I was like, black
scam.
churches are not the same as white churches.
Oh my God, it's a scam, bitch. Hide your kids, hide your wives. Oh my God, y'all have y'all have gasted my flabber my gasted, whatever the fuck. I jaw dropped this entire time.
I would be honest, I thought you knew a good amount of this.
I just thought they didn't like niggas. I thought they just didn't like black people. The fuck?
There's that too, but it's more. It's like, yeah, there
They
is that
almost hate
aspect too.
themselves more.
Yeah, I agree.
I was
But
like,
there is.
'cause
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I
Thank
was
you,
just gonna
John.
say that. I was like, because all white culture, aside from like straight up stealing, is just isolating and gaslighting, including ourselves. So like, that's all. That's all.
Because you have to isolate to gaslight again. Like, I don't know if I need to remake this video. I made a video telling that's why they have to keep us segregated to hold up the propaganda. Because if we like say we're hanging out right now, you're telling me about your people, your church, your upbringing. We're not necessarily talking about mine, but we can talk about mine. They're completely different. And once we figure it out, I'm like, girl, that's not normal. They scam you. It makes you open your eyes. You become woke, bitch.
I'll see if I can
Truly.
find this video. There's this video I saw in like the early 2000s comparing two different churches. It was a Baptist church and a extreme Pentecostal church, the ones that handle like venomous snakes and they jump around, and if the snake doesn't bite them, they're holy enough to go to heaven.
A good danger doodle though.
Literally
Send me that
one of the
video.
clips. I will.
I
One of
want
the
now.
clips is
I'm going into a
literally
deep dive research. I'm going to work out in the morning. I'm coming home, sitting in the computer, and I'm researching white churches. All I want to see if y'all got videos, clips, anything. Please send it to me. If you're on my Discord, preferably send it me to there because links don't work. But if it's a TikTok clip, send it to me on TikTok. Because what the fuck? This is crazy. That's not
I'm
normal.
gonna
So
send
shout
you
out
a
to all the white
copy of
atheists.
the Slave Bible, but
Yeah, and if you can find the slave Bible that they had to, I want to read
no,
that.
I got it. I was like, I'm gonna send it to
Oh,
you
yeah,
over
send me
Discord,
that.
but like, don't. I just.
I think you can actually find like a whole PDF,
Yes.
that's literally just the slave Bible.
Yeah, that's what I'm sending to her.
Oh,
It's literally from
thank
like archive.org.
Oh my God, bless Bear.
Sorry,
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Do you feel like the indoctrination of white children is the cause of mass unaliving?
Absolutely, and I have a great example for it from a personal experience.
I love personal experience and great examples. I just want to take a
Um,
quick shout out to all the people who haven't masked on the live. Anybody, thank you so much. If you need help with knowing what the fuck is not normal, please reach out to one of your black friends or
Yeah.
me. You can come talk about it before you go and do that. But I could see how this can break you down foundationally and you lose your fucking shit. And I see why sometimes they go. I don't know why Dylan Roof went to a black church. It could be jealousy. Um, but I I I'm understanding, and I would need. This is not mental health. This is the fault of the people and the churches that are teaching this fucking shit. Say mental health. You're breaking
Oh yeah.
these people. You're breaking these fucking people. But yeah, what's your example? I'd love to hear it.
So, just premise, I grew up in the church system. I stepped away from churches probably about the age of 12 because just my mom spoke out at a church and they asked us to leave because she didn't agree with the pastor. So that was fun.
What did the pastor say that
In
she didn't agree with?
bashing gay people.
Oh, shout out to your mama.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
keep
love
going.
my mom. And so they basically asked us to leave, and so we bounced around from churches for a while and just ended up stop going to church altogether. In high school, I made a bunch of friends, and they invited me to go play airsoft. I thought it was fun, shooting BB guns at each other, the soft pellets. Everyone was wearing camo. It was just a little weird that it was at a church. Yeah, it was literally part of the church's property. They had a little section in the back part of their church that was like made into an airsoft field. Most of the people who were there, like the guy running it, was the youth pastor. Most of the people there were church members, and there were just children who were dropped off by their parents, and the parents left. And this is also the same group that they did talk about, like where they're warriors for Christ. And my high school did what's known as a day of silence, where basically LGBTQ kids would just walk around and just not talk. They'd have tape over their mouths just for one day out of the school year. This church thought that they needed to respond to that.
Hold on. Respond to what? Say that again, because I was still thinking like these motherfuckers at the church house, and I'm thinking like some of them. It's the pastor, it's the church.
Yeah, it was 100% the church. It's called the Day of Silence. It's basically the LGBT kids at the school would walk around, and their allies would walk around with tape over their mouths. They just wouldn't talk for the day.
And they thought they needed to respond to that by
protesting, trying to get them to talk, taking the tape off their mouth, all sorts of things.
putting your hands on
And
people.
when they
It's
started talking
entitlement.
about, when they started talking about that, like it was literally, I was in a youth meeting when they were talking about that because a friend had invited me to the youth group to see what the youth group was about. They started talking about that, and I got up and started walking out, and the pastor was like, "Hey, you can't leave during this." It's like, I can, and I'm not going to be part of this. You people should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh my god, FaZe, I don't know if you just got here like this. I've learned so much that you have opened my eyes. I feel like you've unlocked a different part of my brain tonight. Because when that's why the root is so important, because just the things that I've learned tonight and over the last couple of days, it's unlocking so many things like I'm understanding. And then we know how to not even combat, but bitch. And at this part, free your free. We gotta free free the whites. Yo, this is crazy. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Y'all don't deserve to fucking live like that. It's crazy.
I do want to say about the airsoft. They mentioned the airsoft. A lot of the airsoft tournaments that would go around in my hometown of Gastonia. Yeah, well, so the airsoft pellets are really small, but it's like being shot with a hard rubber band essentially. But the churches sponsor them. They sponsor these tournaments.
They getting y'all ready for this
BB
shit.
size. It's just instead of metal, they're plastic.
Yeah. But a lot of these people that end up doing these mass pew-pews, they started shooting guns usually at airsoft tournaments sponsored by these churches. And I mean, it's just, I mean, I never did it, but I had friends and family members that did partake in them, and they would literally host them where they put the the Jesus statue for Christmas. They set up an entire airsoft course. They host it. They have a cookout and a fundraiser. Like, listen, they have the what am I thinking of? The nativity scene, where they put the nativity scene out in the big yard. They'll set up a whole airsoft course. They'll have a fundraiser, and they're like, all right, 12 and 14-year-olds, go grab some guns that are unmarked, put on some camo, and go shoot each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shoot each other.
Oh my God.
Oh,
And maybe it makes it a little worse that this was kind of like semi-rural Texas.
Oh yeah, Texas. I'm from Texas too. What other crazy things? Wild things? What? No. Yeah.
Jessica, how is your head?
I don't know. It's exploded. Like, I'm gonna have dreams about this shit tonight. I swear to God.
No,
I don't have any stories related to airsoft, but I have a story related to shit the Catholics did.
Yeah, please
Hear
share.
that story.
We're gonna do like 20 more minutes because
Parker,
I'm
I
changing the
told you
topic
the
tomorrow.
true
It's like, what the
story,
fuck
right?
is white churches teaching you?
Yeah,
all?
baby,
That's what we're
you
doing.
told me.
Yeah, this is
I don't
a
know
trauma,
if it
this is a
contributes.
trauma thing. I was
Because we need to
16.
know what the fuck
night.
they doing. That shit ain't normal. Y'all need to know it's not normal. Because when a girl came up here and told us a story about how when they got in trouble and the crazy things that her parents would do to abuse them, and then she was like, she would go to school and her and the other white kids would trade their fucking war stories, they call them, about how they get abused, and that allows them to think that it's normal. Again, one, keep us segregated, because if all the white parents are doing it to all the white kids, whatever, they'll think it's normal. So you're less likely to call CPS, police, or anything like that. But if you start hanging around other kids, I'm like, girl, they beating your ass. That is abuse. You can come live with us. And giving you an outlet. You're like, oh damn, it is kind of fucked up. My ass do be hurting. I do have bruises. Woo 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 woo. Like putting your hands on a water heater and bending over to get beat by a paddle with holes in it, breaking light bulbs on their skin when they got in trouble, beating your son because you knew the daughter was lying and you told her, I know you did it. I just wanted to know that when you lie, you have to watch your brother get beat. It was crazy. I don't know. They was on some sick shit, some crazy shit. But I just want to say shout out to all the people who make it out and deconstruct on just even on their own, because this shit, god damn. But go
I
ahead,
remember the wooden paddle
Daddy,
for
say.
private school.
So
Yeah, we close. I'm sorry, you guys. We close the box. We're gonna raise Sanji here in a minute. I'm gonna hear a couple more stories. And I'm gonna hear. I got a small headache. I love y'all.
So I've been an atheist since I was 14. I never told my extreme Roman Catholic side of the family that I was an atheist. And when I was 16, my grandparents were like, "Hey, you know what? He's kind of quiet. He doesn't want to go to college. Let's see if we can put him into seminary and see if he can be a priest." And at this point, very much an atheist, and they did not know this. I was like, "No, I'm okay. I don't want to give up my summers. I don't want to do that." So fast forward 4 years later, the priest that they wanted me to learn from got arrested in Point Pleasant, New Jersey for child pornography charges.
Hold on. The priest?
The priest. And apparently, this wasn't his first indictment. This was his third or fourth.
It's
He
well known
was
that the
79
Catholic
years
Church-
old.
79, still doing it?
Yep, they kept moving the motherfucker around.
Of course he did,
that's
right?
What they do. That's
Just like even with
that's what they do.
Just like even with cops, like when they fuck
And
up
then
at one
they had the
station,
fucking
they go
nerve.
everywhere.
They had the nerve
Yes.
to, when they replaced him with a Korean priest, they were like, it should have been the old guy. It shouldn't have been a Korean guy.
Jessica, I just sent
Yeah.
you a YouTube short about Heaven's Gate and Hell's Flames.
I'm watching that
Because
tonight on the
these are
bed.
these are the skits that they would have their kids put on.
Oh my god. Hold on. They said, what about a Korean?
They eventually replaced him because the church needed a new priest. They replaced him with a Korean man. He was a priest for about 20 years, and 2/3 of the church left because he was Korean.
But you're okay staying with
It's
the
racist,
PDF
man.
file, the old one.
Yeah.
That's the crazy
Mhm.
part. You will
He
shun
talked
your
good.
child for
What do
being
you want me to do? He
LGBTQ.
talked good. He talked good. Like if you talk good,
He
like,
talk
like
good.
who?
That's exactly how they
Who?
be. Okay, you
He
will.
thought, this is literally some of the stories, not from my churches, but churches that my schoolmates went to, very similar. And someone literally said, "Well, he had some bad videos, but he talked good." That's literally what they said verbatim. He talked good, so we gotta let him keep some of the kitty corn. Like who don't watch kitty
You'll
corn
shun your
nowadays?
child for loving someone that you don't approve of, be it via gender or race. But you'll let the fucking priest play with your kids? Bitch, you fucking crazy. That's
Some of
what I
these
knew.
religious
Because
I
kids are
can't do it.
property.
Jesus.
Because kids are property.
Wow. Bree, if you got a couple of seconds, I'm gonna go to Jocks first because I definitely want to end. You've said a lot of great things in the comments, but I would love to end on you if you don't mind.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
I'm
of
free. I
course.
can go last.
Go ahead,
You know I
Jocks.
love you.
Hey, Candy,
Oh,
how you doing, beautiful? Just
can you
who
hear me?
in he said he's up on the thing. And I know you asked Jocks what your so whoever's the number one gifter in the live at the time, this will automatically put your face on here. I always want I want people to know who up here, making
But
sure.
do not align me with those motherfuckers.
Hey, no, you're not up there with
I
them.
mean,
Oh my bad, let me put it down here a
oh
little
my
bit.
gosh, that was what was alarming to me. I'm like, do not alarm me with those motherfuckers.
No. It just happened to be close.
Girl, are you kidding me? I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that.
Thank you, sweet Kimmy. That's why you was
know,
like
you put me right under those motherfuckers.
It's been changing. Like if whoever's the number one gifter, like if Queen Bee
we
comes
all
back,
look
it'll
alike,
change.
okay, but at least I'm cute, and I would never do this.
I'm hollering. He said, "Why is my picture up there?
Why is my picture up there with my name in purple? Why are you gonna do that to me?"
I'm hollering. No.
There's no way back.
I'm glad I pulled it down some. Then I'm glad I pulled it down.
Put it way down.
Pam, can you send me that link on Instagram?
Way down.
Oh my god, so I can be able to click on it.
Oh my gosh, Jess, you scaring me.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby.
Why-
Yeah,
why-
let me pull it down a little bit, y'all. I can see
Why
that.
are you gonna put me up with it? I'm ashamed to be classified with this motherfucker.
Smart guy, Shan. Smart, you smart. Y'all, Shan on YouTube said Christian girls are weird. I ran in the opposite direction.
And then you put a number one.
Oh shit, I literally spit. Hot fire. Thank you so much, Candy.
You put a number one next to
Like
me.
you the number one cereal.
Meaning like I'm the worst.
Thank you, Candy. Draw some coconuts for Candy, y'all. Okay, my bad, Jokes. Did you want to
look
make
like the worst of all these assholes?
No. See, now I went to Candy. See, Candy got it now. You. I'm cracking up. I know, right? My bad. You like, I'm scared, bitch. They gonna think that's me. Did you want to add anything to the?
I got nothing.
Okay, no problem.
No likes. Nothing.
Oh, Bree.
Everybody hates me.
No, we love you.
God
We love
almighty.
you. We love you. And whatever.
No, you don't.
Whatever. No, that wasn't you. You wasn't up there.
There's still a zero. There's still a zero up there. Okay.
Oh my goodness! Look, now Candy has it. Oh, the number one spot. Like you see this number one here. Whoever's the top gifter in the live at the time, it'll automatically put their number one, and it'll put their name and their profile picture right here. But when before you did that, Jocks had it, but it was up here. So he thought that I put him and his name in line with the other cereal on the live. So he was like, "Why is my name up there?"
But still, I mean, it just the.
I love you, Jocks. I appreciate you.
I love you too, and I love everything that you've done, and I just like. I always follow you, and like I go for you. I go to you for real news. You know,
I appreciate
fuck
you.
all. I just always, support you.
And I
And
appreciate it. Y'all have no idea. I appreciate all of the love and support. As I operate
and
my authenticity, and some things are not always.
I'm sorry that I made it about me for a minute.
No,
I took a little gummy. I took a little gummy.
it's okay. It's okay. Did you want to add to the prompt or not? You don't have to, because we're about to close. I just want to. I'm gonna get your statement. And then I want to talk to Bree, and then we're gonna close and raise Saji. I got a little
Oh
headache,
no,
y'all.
I'm just giving mad gifts to all of you.
I appreciate you.
But I was like, oh no, that's not me. That's not me. That's not me. I'm not one of these.
Somebody else said I thought he was one of them too. My bad, y'all. No. He not. Jox is a friend. Jox is one of a real good-hearted person too.
Jessica, thank you for having me. I'm
I don't
gonna
even know.
Okay,
I
who
can't
said that?
even see
Daddy
that.
say?
Satan.
Okay, I'm gonna drop you down. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, let me go to Bree. Thank you. I'm gonna drop you down too. Thank you so much, Jox. I love you. Maybe he didn't hear me. Okay. Bree. Oh my God, you've been saying so many amazing things in the comments. I'm glad we had a chance to be able to get you up. Hey there, doodle. Yes, you have the floor.
Glad I could come up. Sorry about that. I was putting the kid up, but no,
No.
I was raised in the worst of the worst you can imagine, like YT supremacist Christian nationalist town, those churches, evangelical, all of that. And it was college. I left this town to go to college, and that's what got me started on my deconstruction journey. But
College
it's
do it every time.
every time, dang liberal colleges, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, I was raised around all white people, so the mediocrity of us was so normalized, and we were taught that's normal. This is the best. There is nothing better than you, so you don't have to reach to be better because you're the best. Everything will be handed to you because of the body you were born in, and that's it. You didn't have to work to be better. You didn't have to try because it should all be handed to you. You deserve it because of who you are. And that's, for me, whenever I had that realization of that's not what the world is at all, that's a lie. That's the white supremacy. That's the structure and this lie that was made. Uh, I realized that I was harming people following that ideology. And that's what made me deconstruct. I was like, I'm harming others. I can't do this. But for others, I watched their world break in half. I watched them not know what to do. But excuse me. I watched them just completely fall apart and ruin their lives because their foundation broke. What they thought they were was a lie, and they didn't know how to handle it.
So how did it tell you you're perfect and there's nothing better? But then, if you don't suffer, you don't get into heaven.
And that's looking back, the contradictions in it all. My whole childhood is a huge contradiction in itself. Because on one hand, you're told you're the best, you're amazing, you are perfect. And then on the other hand, you're told you're evil, you're horrible, and you deserve to suffer, or you don't go to heaven. So you get both of those at you at once. And then you're told you never question an adult in your life, especially your parents and pastor. You don't question it and you don't doubt it, because if you doubt it, you doubt God.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So like deconstructing all of that it can be so hard. I've been in deconstruction therapy for 8 years, and there's still, there is still so much that I'm like, I didn't even know that was there.
Yeah, because you have to rebuild the entire foundation while the house is just kind of on top of you at the same time.
Yes.
Because you don't know what to fall back. You don't have anything. You know how they say, oh, you revert back to a little kid when sometimes things happen? That's what people do. And if the reverting back is not there, because it's a lie and that's nothing you want to rely on. You like damn near have to build it again. And that's the thing that you know that's subliminal in the back of your head. And so it is hard. That's why I mean I appreciate in the work that's been that in the work of deconstructing on top of the shadow work of just being a human, period.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that and like if you're like in
I
a
got you.
situation like I am, I grew up in like rural Oklahoma, so it's bad out here. It's like Texas essentially, just a little bit further north. I don't have. You're right. I can't revert to that childhood me. I can't revert to any of that. I'm trying to hold up this house to rebuild this foundation, and I don't have a family to fall back on. I don't have a support system to fall back on. I don't have anything. It's just me,
Mm.
and that was a lot in itself to deconstruct in the beginning. That realization that I can't go to my mom and dad, I can't go to my brothers, I can't go to anybody because they don't care to do this. They're sitting in that white supremacy and they're enjoying it. They're living it up, thinking they're the best still, and thinking that they deserve to suffer and all of that crap.
Which is why people revert back to it or just fall back into it because of the simple fact like I don't have anybody, and you know.
Yeah, they give up, which it's easy. It would be so easy because I still live here. I still live here with everything going on. Me and my partner said we can't move away from here with what's happening. We just can't. We are the people that, even though we ourselves didn't vote for this, our people did. So we can't run and let other people suffer for what our people did. So we're staying, and we refuse to leave. And that hurts. It would be so much easier, and we've talked about that, about how it would be easier and it would be safer to just revert back to that, find a church and assimilate back into it. But I can't do that.
Yeah.
I started working on building empathy, which is something I did not have before. I thought I did. I really did. I really thought I had empathy at one point, and I learned I did not. I had the illusion of empathy. I had a fake illusion of what I thought was empathy, but it was me projecting myself onto others. It wasn't me seeing others. And so now that I'm learning that and building my empathy, I can't revert back to that. And that alone has made my family really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Because they don't have the balls to do so.
Yep.
Especially
and every time they're like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it with me. Don't bring it up. I don't want to talk to you if you're just going to bring it up. And I'm like, why? Why won't you sit in this uncomfort? And they're like, I don't like it. Okay. You have to be uncomfortable to grow. But then they sit there and go, oh, but I'm a good person. But I'm such a good person. And I'm not racist because I had this black mammy one time. And I'm like, oh my God, mother. That's a real story that happened a few months ago.
I believe you.
Because she said something racist. And I was like, hey, that was racist. You probably shouldn't do that. And this is why. And she said, I'm not racist. I'm a good person. And when I was a kid, I had a black mammy. And I went, whoa. So to prove you're not racist, you're going to be racist? And she made me leave. She just straight up was like, you need to leave.
Yeah. And I appreciate you for even continuously trying to bring up the conversation, planting the seeds, because some of them know I've done some fucked up shit and I know, the things that I follow isn't wrong, but I wouldn't have anybody. I'd have to deconstruct. I don't have anything to follow. I don't have no foundation. Yes. I would lose my entire identity, and I don't want to build another identity. Good night.
Yes.
I'm right behind you, Candy. I appreciate you. And Phrase, I said the exact same thing. Like with you, I don't know how long you've been in here, but the stories and the way that the church is raising these children and telling these children and telling them to idolize their unaliving and get ready, and you must suffer if you want to get in heaven. Don't say nothing. Don't question me. And then some white women are jealous of other white women who get raped because they feel like they're gonna get into heaven before them.
Yep.
And then they realize that you talk to other people and it's not normal.
And that's what I was talking about earlier with like our parents and stuff, and they had an outlet for their violence because they did hate crimes and there was no consequences for them. They didn't build up this hate, and they did all this racism and oppression to others and bigotry, and it was just normalized for them. And then we were raised that we were going to be able to do that we were going to be able to make others suffer if we wanted to because we're the best. And then we got out into the world, and that is not the world that is here anymore. And so many people get angry about that because they were raised being taught that you are going to be able to go out and do whatever you want to whoever you want because you are the top and you are the best. But that's not the world we live in anymore. And so many people refuse to accept that.
Probably why Donald Trump's like, let's take it back to the old days.
Yep. That's why they want to
My
make it
thing
great
is,
again.
if you think the people that suffer the most is the ones that are actually getting into heaven, but you're making other people suffer, it sounds like they would get into heaven and not them then, right?
Another contradiction that they will not talk about.
See, that's why they didn't like me at church, because they told me I asked too many questions. Because you tell me one thing, I got another fucking question, bitch. And another
Yeah, and then they're going to give you an answer, and you're going to be like, well, wait a minute, but that contradicts this.
I've got a strange question that might delve into like a deeper conversation. I'm sorry if it does, but for people like Bree, what can we do? Because you said you didn't really have a support system for like, 'cause all your friends and family are still part of the church and being super racist. What can other people do to like help you with a support system like that? Like build your new support system.
No, that's actually,
I need a Facebook
That's
group
a-
called The Free Whites.
something. I can say as of right now, for me, I have found support in specifically online communities. I have found no support in real life. I don't have in real life friends anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have much contact with my family unless I have to, because I can't. Every time I do, and I have to have contact, I am planting those seeds, and I am saying those snide comments to make them feel that guilt and be uncomfortable. But I am not going out of my way to speak to these people. And so I am finding community online. Like I have a Discord group that I've been a part of, and it's full of white people, and we deconstruct together, and I think we do 2 books a month, and every Monday and Wednesday.
I love that
We
for
read
y'all.
books together and do book group, and we talk about it, and we deconstruct a lot of stuff. The men in the group are working on deconstructing their misogyny. Us in the group, we talk about our internalized misogyny that we need to deal with, like all of that. And it's outside of online spaces right now, still being in Oklahoma. There are some people here who I am in community with, but they live on the other side of the state. So I see them once every few months. But outside of that, I don't have a great answer because I haven't found a great support system in my real life quite yet that I am in real life contact with, because it doesn't exist here.
I guess Oklahoma's kind of like Texas. You only have those little dots of blue.
Tulsa, we have Tulsa, and that's it.
Yeah, because I just went to
Like even
Tulsa.
Oklahoma City isn't good.
I went to Tulsa this
Noted.
past weekend, and I was like, "Damn, there's many black people stay here." But it's I consider that it's probably just that piece. But y'all make sure that y'all keep voting blue. Flip that bitch off the damn thing, because
We
even
are
the guy that
working
said
on it.
y'all should have the Bible in all the schools and all that other type of shit. We went to the meeting and got caught. Tried to display something from his laptop, and he got corn all over the laptop.
That was our state superintendent.
I saw that.
Ryan Walters.
And
Crazy.
Texas is trying to put the
TV and
10
everything.
commandments in the
It
fucking
was vintage from
classroom.
the 60s.
Crazy. So they don't even believe the shit that y'all telling y'all. Wake the motherfuckers up. Wake them up. Stay trying to make you feel like woke is a bad thing. Who wants to walk around sleep like a zombie, like the walking unalive? That don't even make sense. That's another kind of thing. It's like, why would I want to walk around dead? Of course I want to be awake. Bitch. You don't drive sleep.
Those are the questions we ask. And so far we've noticed they actually don't have a big support. It's a bunch of 70-plus-year-old people who just want to go back to the 50s and refuse to let go. And that's literally about it. Most people are like, yeah, no, we don't want that. We just vote Republican because that's what my family votes. We just vote down ballot Republican, and people here don't do research. And then we're taught as a whole that our vote doesn't matter because we're just one person. So when you have 500,000 people who would vote more Democrat or left wing or independent, but all of us are like, well, I'm not going to vote because it's just my one little voice. Boom, 500,000 votes are now not voted.
You know what? They should vote blue anyway. Like, oh, it don't matter, so I'll just vote blue. It ain't gonna matter. No, if y'all gonna win anyway, I might as well have my own choice and vote blue.
And
And
you
if everybody did that, then you fucking be blue. Just do it anyway.
that is exactly what I
My
keep
wife-
telling them.
My wife was just like that, was not a registered voter. I made her register to vote, and I made her go vote in 2024. I was like, you're going to sit here and listen to me bitch about this shit. You're going to be part of it. You're going to vote.
That's me with my partner. He's like, I don't do the research, but I know when I come home, I'm going to know exactly what happened this week in the news because you're going to tell me.
Oh my goodness. Bree, I appreciate you. You're definitely welcome to come back because I think I'm gonna have to change the topic to like what are y'all teaching in white churches? Because it's even more interesting. Let me make sure
It's
that I give
scary.
you a follow too.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course, y'all. I have a really bad headache, but we're gonna raid Saji. Okay. Do you guys everybody know what Saji's username is? It's Christina, Christina dot 888 underscore. If you guys don't know who she is, let me put it in the chat. Christina dot 888 underscore. Or you can just type in Sajida. If you're already following her, she should pop up at the top. All right, y'all. Make us look good, royal family. Drop some coconuts in there. Tell her it is a Jessica Simone Ray. Dan, I better see you over there. If you want, oh yeah, I'm about to go drink some water, probably eat some oatmeal, and call it a night. Thank you, FaZe. I ain't seen you in a while. Hope all is well, love. Thank you, Dan, so much. I appreciate everybody that came up on the panel. Thank you so much. Let's go raid Sajida right now. If you don't know, you can type in Christina.888 underscore. She is live. This is what she looks like. Very beautiful girl, right there in Cheap Party. Oh, okay, he dropped. So yeah, I'll see you over there. Thank you guys so much. At least if you're going to bed, just go by, say hi. Jessica Raid, and hit the like button and give our daily heart me. Thank you. Have a good night. See you later, Pam. Thank you so much. I missed you. It's so glad to see you, baby. YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed. I appreciate you guys for being in the comments and hanging out tonight.